I'm pretty sure. I mean, we're doing this for a while now, so I don't think any technical difficulties going to happen or whatever.
Yeah, I'm about to say we vets over here.
No, I just want to make sure everything is. Just want to make sure all the audio is good. Sounds like it's good. Um, it's episode 93. Still going. Everything is straight. Um,
Had to make sure I turn down the volume a little bit.
Bill, is you there?
Yeah.
All right, just make sure everything is on up. All right, we good. Episode 93, First and Framerates. Once again, myself, VF Baller, DJ81, Bill's fourth. The crew is still here, doing our thing. Despite people try to say what they want to say and do what they want to do, and we still doing our thing. It's no big deal. You guys can have fun with all that. If you guys don't know, episode 100 is coming up. I still have something in the works for something for that. Hopefully you guys will stick around. I don't want to announce it yet. I want to run it past the guys first and just see what they think about it. Obi-Wan, thanks for coming through in the chat. Thanks for everybody else who's coming in and break bread with us. Come with your questions and come with your comments. We're going to talk about the XFL. We're going to talk about the NBA. It starts today. A few other things we're going to ad lib. We're going to talk about the NFL. The scores and the low lights of the NFL the past week and other things that we're going to ad lib as well. Bills, what's been going on with you this weekend?
Not much. I just been grinding as usual. Eagerly awaiting today so I can laugh at a lot of people. And I heard that a roast might be in session from the chat, so I'm eagerly awaiting that because they're not the only people who can shoot, and when I shoot I don't miss. So I'm just eagerly awaiting that. It's what I'm here for today. What is that? What is that the Street Profits say? We want the smoke. Well, yeah, I want the smoke.
We want the smoke.
Yep.
We want all that smoke. Yeah, we want the smoke.
Pretty much.
What's going on, Chris Thomas? Thanks for coming through once again. Loyal listener, man.
But no, yeah, I'm chilling, yeah.
Same here. What's up with you, DJ?
Man, this is a mixed emotional night for me because coming off a Sunday playing 2 games and coming up short in the championship game, I was hoping to at least walk away with a championship in our rec league, and I tried my best. Had a couple of flashbacks of the old me and or the younger me actually, and just wasn't able to pull it off. All in the rain and all that. But tonight, one with this episode, because I have a roast in order for Nelson Aguilar. So I hope Spec is watching somewhere. And 2, the Nats are in the World Series and game 1 is tonight.
I forgot about that.
Yes.
The World Series do start tonight. Wow.
Yeah. Washington versus Houston. They are in Houston, so it's Max versus Coltrane.
Yes,
that's what his nickname now is Coltrane. But
this might be a pretty entertaining World Series, better than advertised.
Well, I'll tell you what, the NBA is fucking up the goddamn World Series for me tonight because I'm sorry, I'm a basketball fan.
I don't see how, because it's not like Zion Williamson's playing for like 2
doesn't
months.
matter. That don't matter.
When they announced they had to have that surgery, and that probably is going to reduce the ratings for this first game that's on tonight, because 1 or 2, because the latter game is the Battle of LA. That's going to get all the people tuning in, because by then the baseball game would have probably gotten to the later innings, so people tend to just check in. We multitask these days.
I mean, I'm kind of interested to see how Toronto is without Kawhi this year, though. It's going to be interesting, and obviously, I want to see how the Pelicans operate because they basically have a new squad completely. I mean, literally, aside from Jrue Holiday, none of their main pieces are really still there. They're kind of like, I don't know, they're a completely different team. So it's going to be interesting. But obviously, the late game is going to be is going to be the big deal. I mean, even without PG playing.
Yeah, you got Lakers and Clippers. That's gonna be a pretty good matchup as well. I'm not staying up for it. I have to work tomorrow, but I'm gonna hear about it on the way. You know, I drive truck, so I hear all about it while I'm driving in the morning. So it's going to be interesting to say the least. Good way to start off the debut of the NBA even without Zion. I mean, I'm pretty sure they're two big names. Kawhi and Zion is not on those teams. You still got a good bit of players that's going to make it interesting. So
I was about to say because LeBron is playing.
Well, Kawhi's playing, but PG
no, I'm talking about
playing,
no. What I'm saying is Kawhi not on the Raptors.
On
the Raptors, and you have Zion not on the Pelicans. I still think with that talent that both teams have, it's going to be a decent game. And the Lakers and Clippers, I mean, PG's not playing, but you still have a pretty good team with the Clippers. The Lakers are already a pretty stacked team right now. So it's going to be really interesting to see how they gel. How both teams gel, because they're almost two different teams based on what they were last year. So
Kawhi's probably sitting there like, I didn't pull up to LA to play in Toronto again. Fuck is this? I get my superstar back up and running.
Right. So
he went to LA to appear in commercials.
Yeah, I know, right?
So what do y'all want to start off with? Y'all want to start off with the usual? Y'all want to go ahead and talk about these NFL scores and
we can run through them because I'm surprised somebody isn't here yet.
He's here. He's here.
Oh, he's here.
Oh no! I know what you're talking about. He's not here.
No. I'm about to say we're talking about the NFL, not what we're going to talk about.
We'll talk about
after. Yeah. I got you. So Bills, go ahead and take it away.
Week 7, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So this was one of the more interesting weeks for picks, I'll say. That's what I'll preface this with. So the first game was the Chiefs and the Broncos, and yeah, even with Pat Mahomes going down, the Broncos, they just suck. Like, they are horrible. They have no run game. Their quarterback is a basket case. They just traded their best receiver, so you already know where they're going with this season.
Oh, yeah. Trust me, I'm a Falcons fan, I know.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a second.
Well, shoot, Joe Flacco tried to enact his no-look dead eye.
I know, right? But
the dead eye part, right?
Well, wait until you get to the Monday night game.
I know,
we're gonna be seeing ghosts.
I know, right? But I mean, the big news here obviously was the Pat Mahomes injury. I didn't see them destined for a Super Bowl anyway. I think this puts them a little bit further behind even that pace. I mean, I think they make the playoffs, obviously, because look at the division they're in. But then again, I can't really say that's a given because depending on how the Raiders play, how the rest of their schedule is going to look, I mean, Chiefs might play themselves out of playoff contention. So it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah.
It's gonna be, especially if they can't get that run game going. I mean, I don't know. It's going to be interesting. The Broncos, on the other hand, they're a complete train wreck. They traded Emmanuel Sanders today to the 49ers, which I think is a really good pickup for the 49ers.
Yeah, that's a really good pickup for them. That's a really good one.
I mean, if I was a 49ers fan, I'd probably prefer a bigger target. But, anytime you get a guy that just plain gets open all the time, there's nothing wrong with that. So, the next game, Rams and the Falcons.
Oh boy.
Oh, by the way, we all picked the Chiefs in that one.
Okay, yeah, I was about to say.
Rams and the Falcons. My dumbass.
I don't know why you picked the
Falcons. I don't know why you did either.
3 in a row.
I'm gonna learn not to pick them Falcons, man.
This is the last week. All right, this is the last week for sure. All right, just like the alcohol. I ain't never drinking again. Well, no, I ain't never picking these motherfuckers again. Complete and utter embarrassment. Jalen Ramsey had a great first game.
No, except for that nut grab in the middle of the game.
That was a bit sketchy. Even Jared Goff had a big game against them. 22 for 37, 268, which is a big game for him. 2 touchdowns. Matt Ryan, 16 for 27, 159, 1 interception, no touchdowns. Devontae Freeman, 7 carries, 19 yards.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
And Matt Ryan is out.
Yeah, it's time to go ahead. It's time to just go ahead and just let the season go.
Oh, since we're talking about the Falcons, we ended up acquiring Mohamed Sanu via trade.
Yeah.
A lot of mixed feelings from people about this.
I don't
trade.
know why. I mean,
and wait a minute, hold up. Didn't one of the
Uh-huh.
Rams players do the dirty bird after he scored?
That's the signature thing to do.
that's the signature thing. I mean, it always happens. Some bum ass player balls out on us and do the dirty bird. That always happens.
Hey, we had a human slip and slide at our stadium, so
yeah.
No, I'm just saying.
We'll get to that.
I don't know why people are freaking out about this trade. This is a great trade for both sides. It's an absolutely great trade for both sides.
No, I don't think people are freaking out. It's just
I think they are.
I'm about to say you didn't go to.
I think they definitely are, bro.
I mean, some people actually thought Mohamed Sanu was going to get re-signed again after.
And Patriots fans over here acting like we signed the next coming of fucking Anquan Bolden. Relax, he's not re-signing after this year anyway.
I mean, listen, for a second rounder, we damn near got a steal. There's no other way around it.
Mohamed Sanu for a second rounder. I'm sorry, I'm not making that trade. Even if it would go through in Madden, I'm not making that trade. I like Mohamed Sanu a lot as a receiver.
Yeah, I mean, he's not a bad player. Just he's not second round talent.
It's a rent out for a ring, which is fine. Well, we can't really call it ring chase, considering the fact that we don't really have to make any rash moves to win rings. We just kind of show up.
That's what I was saying. I'm like, this wasn't even about them helping him get a ring. It's like I made the case. You can make the case where damn near that the Patriots got robbed. You don't give up a second round.
I mean, we needed a target, bro.
Yeah, but that's a high.
We don't use our second round picks like that.
Regardless of the fact, I mean that's still value though. The second round
value, but I mean,
look at what Emmanuel Sanders went for.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, if we don't use our second round picks, and the only time we really do anything with our picks that's substantial is trading for other picks, then we might as well get Mohamed Sanu, which is we need him in the playoffs, man.
I understand what you're saying, but that's still a high price. Regardless if y'all don't use them or not, second round talent, some second round talent are like career or damn near game changing or franchise changing type players.
I think it depends on the situation, though. I think it depends on the situation with the franchise. We needed him. We don't use our picks like that. I think it's a good move. Especially if we're not going to get Emmanuel Sanders. I mean,
I'm not saying that is a bad move on the Patriots or the Falcons' part. It's just the fact that because based on what y'all have and based on what the Falcons have, it was like a win-win for both sides. I mean, the Falcons basically need to rebuild at this point because of what they have. I mean, what they have is not going anywhere. They've been abysmal since 28-3, and they have to do something to pretty much transform. And you want to start out with the second-round pick. That is a really good starting point. It's a very good starting point.
So the next game, Dolphins and Bills. We all picked the Bills, and rightfully so.
There was a scare initially.
But then the Dolphins reared their ugly-ass heads by giving up a touchdown on an onside kick.
Yeah, way to go.
So, that theory about them being the worst team that I've ever seen, they just continue to show why.
Especially in this era of kickoffs.
They are absolutely deplorable. I don't even have to go into this game any more than that. Jaguars and Bengals.
I knew Jaguars were going to pull this one off.
Did I pick the Jaguars in this one?
You picked the Bengals and I picked the Bengals. And
I think I picked the Jags.
Yeah, you picked the Jags. 27-17 Jags. Gardner Minshew led a fourth quarter drive that put Jacksonville ahead to stay Sunday. And so basically he played well when he needed to. He didn't, put up crazy stats, but Andy Dalton, God, 1 touchdown, 3 picks. Not good. He was also their leading rusher. Andy Dalton was.
Oh, wow. Really?
4 carries and 33 yards. So
that's crazy.
Definitely not good. I can't see AJ Green making it through this season as a Bengal. Once he comes back from injury, he'll be traded somewhere. I don't know where. Probably to a contender, I would have to think.
Yeah.
I'll tell you one thing. If you're the Rams or anybody else in the NFC, keep him away from Seattle. That would not be good if he's healthy. I mean, but so Jaguars got him there. Next game, Vikings and Lions. Vikings won 42-30. and we all picked the fucking Lions. So
Really? Oh wow.
there you go. Cousins had 4 touchdown passes. He continues to give a big middle finger to anybody that doubts him. I guess he plays well with his back against the wall. Whatever.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm not looking at them as any type of like huge, contender come playoff time. Matt Stafford played well, 30 for 45, 364, 4 touchdowns and 1 interception. But when your team gives up 42 points, there's not much you can do. They didn't get much from the way of the running game either. I mean, McKissick had 5 carries for 29 yards. Kerryon Johnson, I'm guessing, is hurt. Amendola had 8 catches for 105 yards, not bad. Stephon Diggs is another big day. So, yeah, Minnesota looks good right now, but I think they're definitely fool's gold. Raiders and the Packers.
Yeah, you're right. They seem like a team that'll probably be one and done out of the first round.
Yeah, I don't see. I see Kirk Cousins rearing his ugly head come playoff time. Anything outside of a home game in the playoffs, which they're not going to get, I don't see it.
Because he is in year 2 of that contract. So.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see it. Raiders and the Packers. Packers took this one 42-24. We all took the Packers. And Aaron Rodgers, Jesus Christ, this dude carved them up. I mean, it was a clinic. I mean, 6 incompletions. He went 25 for 31, 429, 5 touchdowns. I mean, the easiest 5 touchdowns you'll ever see, other than probably Peyton Manning in that season opener against the Ravens when he had 7.
Right.
Just dominant. One of his receivers, Valdez Scantling, had 2 catches for 133 yards. That tells you everything you need to know. Raiders, I keep telling people their offense is good, but they have no pass rush. Yes, they have as many sacks already through what? I mean, what is it, 7 weeks? They have as many sacks as they had last season already, but that's not saying much because they had no pass rush last year.
Right.
So I'm not impressed.
Stat tracking on Aaron Rodgers: 13 touchdowns, 2 interceptions so far in the year.
Yeah, that's the guy that's overrated,
And given the gambler trait in Madden.
Who's running around saying this dude is overrated?
Dude, there's a bunch of people that have been saying Aaron Rodgers is overrated as of late.
They're not smart.
Well, hence, 90% of football fans. But anyway, Texans and Colts. Colts took this one at home, 30-23.
I'm actually impressed with that because the Texans are really good on the road.
Yeah, we all took the Texans, so Brissett played really well, 26 for 39, 326, 4 touchdowns. Watson actually didn't play too well, 23 for 34, 308, couple of costly interceptions. Got nothing from the run game, 12 carries for 35 yards for Carlos Hyde. Marlon Mack was held in check, 18 carries for 44 yards. DeAndre Hopkins, 9 catches for 106 yards. But they just couldn't get it done on the road. Darius Leonard had a crazy interception at the end of that. Crazy interception, crazy diving interception. But yeah, Colts look for real right now, but we'll see come playoff time.
Yeah, I mean, after the Colts beat the Chiefs with Mahomes, and you turn around and you beat, a team like the Texans. I mean, I'm not saying that for real, but those type of wins will carry you once it's playoff time or when it's time to for seeding. That helps big time for them.
Yeah, because the reason I think they're legit is because their offensive line is legit and their defense is legit. And I'm just looking as far as playoff time. Obviously, Brissett's going to have to perform, and they're going to have to get something from the run game. But, I mean, those 2 tools are very important come playoff time. So, definitely impressed by them right now. Cardinals and the Giants. What the fuck?
Stat tracking on – oh, wait a minute. Before you move on, stat tracking on Jacoby Brissett, 14 touchdowns, 3 interceptions on 1,300.
Very impressive.
Yards.
I was about to say that is very impressive for him.
Very impressive. Yeah, very impressive. I mean, I saw big things in him in New England. Everybody else was talking about Garoppolo. I was busy talking about Brissett. Then he got hurt. So that
I mean, Garoppolo. Garoppolo and Brissett. I mean, really good balance on both ends. I mean,
I'm not big on Garoppolo. I'll get into that another time.
And they're not doing anything wrong right now. So it's
no, they're not. But Garoppolo just he strikes me as a game manager.
Yeah, I mean, I get you that, but I'm like,
he's not doing. He's not doing anything to lose team games.
Right, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. It's like, I mean, it's not all doom and gloom. I mean, there's worse. I mean, there's worse quarterbacks right now.
Yeah. Well, of course. Cardinals and the Giants.
Well, they talk about him a lot because his name is marketable, if anything.
Not too.
Pretty much. I mean, he has the look too. You know how that goes. Kind of same reason with Mark Sanchez. He was that guy that looked like a marketable quarterback, but he was trash. Not saying Garoppolo is, but you see what I mean?
Yeah, these California quarterbacks be chips half the time,
but right.
Aaron Rodgers is like the anomaly. Yeah, so Cardinals and Giants. We all took the I'm sorry. Me and VF took the Giants. DJ took the Cardinals.
Hey, this might be a team we might need to look at a little bit.
Yeah, I mean,
we might need to look at. We might need to look at the Cardinals, not in the sense that they're contenders or there's a team to reckon with. I think they're better than we thought they were.
For sure, yes.
Yeah, because we really.
I wouldn't go that far.
Shit, no. There's no way. Did any of us predict they'd be 3-3-1 at this time? I don't think BF did. I definitely didn't.
I did not think they'd be even close having with 3 wins period this season.
No, yeah. I couldn't see it.
Personally, I didn't care as long as I picked them.
No, I'm saying
last week, that's all I was worried about.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like the overall scheme of things. Like I think me and VF are just like,
yeah. I mean, you basically looking at a team that was probably going 2-14 or 1-50.
Right.
They look like that kind of team. That's why I'm like surprised they're 3-1 right now.
Their defense has definitely gotten it together. Kyler Murray is doing less and less to lose his team games. He didn't throw a touchdown, but he's getting used to the speed of the game. So
yeah, I think you get more acclimated with being a quarterback. Now, that's pretty
cool. I mean, his leading receiver had 4 catches for 29 yards, so you could tell he's kind of checking the ball down a lot, which I've watched him, and he's checking the ball down a lot.
You're talking about game managing. There you go, right there.
That's what I'm saying. It's like that's what he's probably gonna end up being. He'll never be a Russell Wilson type guy, but it is what it is. Daniel Jones, 22 for 35, 223, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. I don't know why people are hammering this dude. We had to expect them to run into a wall eventually.
I mean, he's a rookie. What you expect?
He's a fucking rookie that y'all thought was not even going to hit the field, and now all of a sudden he's having a couple bad games, and it's the end of the world. It's like people just
but the flip side of that, when he has a good game, everybody's praising him.
Well, not only is everybody praising him, but the ones that thought he's going to suck just shut the fuck up and they don't say anything. And they wait for him to have a game like 2 weeks ago, and all of a sudden it's, hey, see, I told you. It's like, no, be consistent.
Shut your ass.
It's like it's just like it's stupid. What?
I have no idea what he's talking about. What's the next one?
Oh no.
Oh, I was like, yeah, he said, I'm like, what? 49ers and the Redskins. Ooh.
DJ, let DJ talk about this one.
Yeah. Let me give the score first. VF was the only one to pick the Niners, and look who won the pony. Niners won 9-0 in just a disgusting game. Take it away, DJ. I don't have anything else other than that.
Well, the game to me seemed like it was well fought. It's just that one team was afraid to pass while the other team was not afraid to pass. It was just one of those things where I understand where Bill Callahan is trying to do. And yeah, we can run the ball now, but just because you get a little bit of rain, because personally, I was out in the same bit of weather under the same conditions. I caught 2 long passes for both of them for more than 40 yards each.
Right.
For long completions. People say it's difficult to catch in that in those conditions. No, it isn't. To me, it isn't.
I mean, the thing is,
I know I've sat there.
What they do
was actually one play.
What they do is they do that for the fans, so people are watching. They make it seem like it's so difficult. But if you're a professional, I mean, you ain't even got to be a professional. If you've been playing ball for a significant amount of time, in some cases, a wet football makes it easier to catch.
All I have to say is
Yeah, and especially
before there were gloves, every fucking game in the fall and winter was like this in the 60s. You know what I'm saying? So
I'm just saying when a football is wet, it's usually heavier. So it don't get necessarily slippery. It's easier to catch because the what you call it, the leather on it just tightens up.
Yeah,
it's not a slippery ball.
The only way it's harder is you're not getting a lot of tight spirals because the quarterback can't really handle the ball as well, which is why they have the towels and all that sort of thing.
But that goes back to their hands being wet, not the football.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's like that's the only way.
But hold on. But hold on. But the problem comes in with the gloves that they wear. A lot of times the gloves don't have that. They don't have the gloves that I wore in the game. Sunday morning were gloves that it didn't matter if it was rain or if it was wet or dry. They had natural tack to them.
Yeah,
right.
So I made a couple of hand grabs in that game, and it was just like, okay, so I'm looking at this Redskins game. I saw that Trey Quinn had no gloves on, and he caught the ball just fine. He had like 2 catches. He had one, he out jumped somebody and took it, and then he had another one where he pretty much slid out of bounds for like 5 yards.
Well, and the worst part is,
but these again on the other side.
Well, real quick, these dudes get new gloves every fucking game, so it's even. I mean, it's even less of an excuse.
But it's not even
the whole thing about the football being, harder to handle in the rain. I'm not saying it's 100% farce, but I mean, you just let a football sit out in the rain and you go back and check it later and see how slippery it is.
I'll say from experience,
it's a heavier football.
I'll say from experience, it's harder as a running back.
Right. Yeah, it is because, like, once again, you're holding it up against your body. Your body is wet. Your body's going to make the ball slippery. The ball itself is not.
Yeah, it's way. Yeah,
the ball is heavier. I mean, the leather on the ball is thicker. It's wet. It's almost equivalent like saying, okay, I have a wet jacket, and because the jacket's wet, it's harder for me to hold on to it because most leather jackets are, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
So they do that for television and let people know who are ignorant to football. Like, oh my God, the ball is like, it's like a hot potato. No, it's not. Stop it. Shut up.
Now, the only positive thing about this game is that it didn't last the full length that most games usually go to. This game was done before 3:30. That was the only redeemable trait about this game. It ended early because it gave us all the others enough time to watch bonus coverage of other games. So that's really was it. I'm like, Adrian Peterson got his yards, Tevin Coleman got his yards, but then again, the running was spread out between Coleman, Breida, Garoppolo had a long run, had 11-yard run.
What's going on?
Haves and have-nots.
What's going on, B5?
And then the whole slip and slide thing at the end of the game, I'm like, one of our announcers apparently had a problem with it. I was just like, well, beat them.
Right.
I'm like, this guy, Larry Michael, he's employed by the Washington Redskins, so he's going to talk like that. But he sat there and said, oh, the Redskins are going to remember that one day. I'm like, well, not today. Not today, not ever. Like, you got to beat teams so you can slip and slide after the game. I'm like, 49ers earned that right to do that.
I've never been a fan of this fake, contrived sportsmanship. You never hear that from the team winning. It's always somebody getting ass whooped that wants you to be a little bit nicer about winning. No, just like Deion Sanders said, you don't want to see me high step into the end zone? Don't throw the fucking ball to me.
Well, then on top of that, it's been more than a calendar year since the Redskins won a home game.
Yeah,
so you don't have home field advantage. I'm like, the team has no right to talk anything at this point. You just shut the fuck up and just play the rest of the season.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Like I remember when like the year that the Celtics went 24-58 and Kobe came in for a game and he killed us. We lost by 20 and they were chanting MVP. And the commentators had the nerve to be mad about that. I'm like, there's nothing but fucking Lakers fans in here. Who's going to show up? And this goes back to that fandom shit we talked about. Who's going to show up to watch that sorry-ass team? 24-58? Of course he's getting MVP chant. Oh, this never happened in the Lakers-Celtics game. It just fucking happened. When you have no home court advantage, away fans take that home field or home court advantage away by basically showing out on y'all's fans.
Yeah, pretty much.
They have something to cheer for. Y'all don't.
That happened in pretty much all sports, right?
That shit. I've seen it happen in Miami way too many times. But we're not real basketball fans anyway, if you ask them. The next game.
What's the next game? How about that?
Since Pooh was asking about the Chargers, well, I picked the Titans, and I knew what was coming with these fraud-ass Chargers. So Titans won 23-20. And yeah, the Chargers are starting to look like real frauds right about now.
Yeah, that look like another team that may need to just go ahead and start rebuilding.
Melvin Gordon, 16 carries, 32 yards. Your leading receiver was a backup running back.
Damn.
And you got beat by a backup quarterback.
Yeah, that's not good.
Even bigger damn.
Ryan Tannehill, 23 for 29. That's 6 incompletions. 312 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 pick.
Well, shoot, even their backup, their third string came in 1 for 1. Oh, Is he the backup or is he a punter? Nope, he's a backup. Their third string quarterback, 1 for 1, 11 yards. Yeah. His QB rating was higher than Phillip Rivers.
So yeah, nothing to see here. Just the Chargers being Chargers. Saints and the Bears. VF will only want to take the Saints here. I'm about tired of picking against them on the road. I'm about tired of picking against them. Period.
Was this Mitch's first game back?
Yes.
He needs to go back on the bench.
Yeah, I kind of saw this. I was like, I didn't think the Saints were going to lose this game at all.
I have a question.
What's that?
I have a question. Why is Mr. Trubisky throwing the ball 54 times?
I mean, they had no choice. I mean, the running game was just terrible.
Whoa, it's gonna be terrible when you only run the ball 3 times.
I'm just saying the running game is that bad. They don't have anybody.
Okay. 54 pass attempts to 7 rush attempts.
7 rush attempts between 2 running backs. VF. I mean, that's not even making an effort to establish the run.
Meanwhile, the Saints 38 pass attempts to 35 rush attempts. Yeah, so that's kind of telling me that maybe the time of possession was in New Orleans' favor.
Well, and also they've been running the ball fine with Montgomery, so you got to run the ball more. Mitch Trubisky 54 times. This seems a lot like a situation with Rex Ryan, like, oh, we need Mark Sanchez to throw the ball because we want him to be the fucking standard bearer and the reason we win. And what happened? When we got away from defense on the Jets, what happened? Everything went to shit. We wanted to put the ball in Mark Sanchez's hand, and that's what they're doing with Mitch Trubisky. 54 times? Mitch Trubisky?
Yeah,
he should be throwing the ball as many times as Kyler Murray.
I mean, I'm not sitting here defending it, but the running game wouldn't help. They're just that bad.
They just need balance. But I'm looking at the time of possession. Saints had the ball for like 37 minutes. The Bears only had it for 22. Yep. That's what I thought.
You got Trubisky out here making them bonehead ass throws. And it's not even picks, it's just like stupid decisions. That's what he does. He throws some bad picks, but more so he just makes stupid decisions as far as like whether to scramble or throw the ball away. It's a mess over there. And it's sad because you got an all-time defense over there. That defense is amazing.
They didn't look like it the other day.
Well, I mean, shit. You get nothing but short fields and punting. That's what happens. But Ravens and the Seahawks. I wanted to take the Ravens, and we spoke about this. We were all kind of torn. You took the Ravens. Me and VF took the Seahawks. This game really wasn't as close as the scoreboard indicates. Ravens just kind of came in and punched them in the mouth.
Yeah, they did a good job of taking care of business. There's nothing else to say about
Yeah,
that.
Lamar Jackson had like 14 carries, 116 yards, and a touchdown.
He's an
But
absolute monster, man.
he's RG3 2.0.
Yeah. Russell Wilson, he had a pick. It wasn't. Well, I'll take it back.
God,
That was a pretty bad.
The guy
pick.
jumped it. Peters did a good job of jumping that route.
He did, but
he baited him because it looked like he was playing off of him, and then he kind of took that step like he was going to go deep, and Russ was like, "Oh, he's open." Shoot,
he did, but that ball floated though.
No, that's
Russell
what I'm
Wilson,
saying.
He has a tendency to float passes sometimes.
Yeah, because he at that moment, I felt like he thought that he had a clear catch going on right there. He thought he was like, "Oh, pitch and catch."
Yeah, he
floated. Shit.
He floated that one.
Yep.
Yeah, so Seahawks are looking pretty good. It's only their second loss of the season. I think they're going to win that division. I just see the 49ers kind of falling off eventually. That's just me. So yeah, I see them winning that division, but not too bad of a loss. Baltimore's legit, so yeah. Eagles and the Cowboys.
Oh God.
Woo!
Yeah.
Well, DJ didn't want to pick the Cowboys again, so he picked the Eagles.
Still fuck the Cowboys, but damn, fuck the Eagles too.
Man.
Definitely fuck Nelson Aguilar too.
Yeah, I mean, well, listen, I mean, the Eagles, they just didn't look good. The Cowboys, I watched that game. It was the Cowboys' night. Everything was running on all cylinders. Also, you had, once I saw them kick that 63-yard field goal, I just knew it. The Eagles had no chance of winning that game. It was just their night. I'm not saying it was bad. Eagles are good. Cowboys. It was just one of those nights that the Cowboys was just on it.
All I gotta say is Jordan Howard, 11 carries, 50 yards.
I mean, it's been like that with the Eagles the entire
time.
I
gotta say, Nelson Aguilar needs to double his efforts just to get those extra. How many inches was he off from? That and the fact that he threw his quarterback under the bus. I think that was pathetic what he said, and I think
what did he say now?
When they was asking him why he wasn't able to get to that pass that Wentz put on him. It was basically a 62-yard throw.
Mm-hmm.
He had his man beat.
Right.
But when he sat there and said that, as soon as I was able to spot it, it was out of reach or something like that. When all the replays and all the angles show that he was well within arm's length of the ball. All he had to do was extend. And it kind of reminds you of Ricky Waters back in the day when he had a pass over the middle and he kind of alligator armed it. In this case, Aguilar did the same exact thing. He was just he went to reach, but he never extended his arms, and he just was
I have a theory. So Alshon Jeffrey wasn't too happy. He's not too happy about Carson Wentz right now either. He's not too crazy about him. He's not too crazy about the organization, quite frankly. My theory is I think everybody's tired of Carson Wentz being the savior, and they win without him, and then come back and he's the savior again to everybody. Nobody ever says a negative word about Carson Wentz. Now I love Carson Wentz, all right, but it's not an indictment on him. I just think that he's another one of those people that are looked at as a golden boy. Nobody ever blames him for a loss. He's always looked at as the golden boy. And I think they're tired of it.
He's gonna ruffle some feathers, and you know what?
I mean,
no, let me finish.
Yeah,
ruffle some feathers, and goddamn it, you might be right though,
dude.
Bullshit, because nobody. I see pretty much the entire Eagle Nation. Honestly, they see things that we see when Carson is doing some fucked up shit, and they defend him when other Eagles say something bad about him.
Yeah.
Let alone people outside of Eagle Nation.
It's crazy.
It is. I mean, any other organization and group of fans, they will chastise their quarterback, and you have some people who are just ignorant and just want to defend their QB no matter what. But for the most part, most people be like, you know what, you're spot on.
Just look at what Poole said. I mean, I love Alshon, but he can leave if he feels that way.
Exactly.
I mean, it's one of those things where it kills me because he had two major injuries. His team went deep in the playoffs twice once they won a Super Bowl. And that was without him. And now he comes back and all these players are just fucking bridesmaids to him. They're tired of it.
It gets to the point where people are gonna have to start checking their feelings about him. I'm not saying that it's Wentz's fault.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that he's the problem, but it's too many times I've seen him do some fucked up stuff and people just run to his defense like immediately.
Every franchise has the one player that is impervious to blame. Like, no matter what, he can do I won't say player, person. Whether it's personnel, roster, front office. There's always, in a franchise, one guy who a fan will try to come for him and he'll get just beat down for it. An analyst will try to come for him, beat down for it. And Carson Wentz is that guy. And I'll be completely honest, half of an MVP caliber season doesn't earn you that. Sorry.
I mean, it's going to come a time. Like, I'm going to be honest, it's just going to become a time where people are just going to have to start checking and see, like, all right, wait a minute, what are we really doing here? And I'm not sure if people are willing to do that right now. It's just gonna have to come at that time because, I said, it's been too many occasions that when he does not perform up to his ability, and when somebody calls him out on it, I see swarms of Eagle fans just go straight to his defense and not even give an inkling of trying to say you might be right.
Just
like I said, I know when Matt Ryan fucks up.
Look at the Rams situation though. Okay, let's say Jared Goff never got blamed. Nobody ever talked shit about him. Nobody ever bashed him for his shitty play, right? Meanwhile, you got Todd Gurley getting just attacked. They'd feel the same way. The difference is Jared Goff gets his share of blame.
Yeah, I mean, look what happened in the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
I mean, I don't care what anybody says. I still blame Jared Goff for that Super Bowl loss. It had nothing to do with what the Patriots did or what everybody else did. Y'all can say
we scored 9 points?
Yeah, I mean, you can say whatever. You can say what you want about, Todd Gurley not playing or whatever. But at the end of the day, Jared Goff had every opportunity to win that game for the Rams, and they didn't.
Yeah, but Pooh, here's the thing. He says, why give the media that material? The media is going to create that regardless.
Who cares about what the media think? You need to get the team in order.
That's what I'm saying. Like, the thing is, as much as these players say they don't care about the media, they care about what the media is saying and what the perception of them is.
Sometimes they do it a little bit too much.
Sometimes they do a little bit too much. Now, as far as caring what gets into the media, they don't give a fuck. Especially if they're speaking their mind. If you have a quarterback, and the quarterback is always the most just, heralded or criticized position, one or the other on each team, you have a quarterback who, like I said, he's been injury prone the past 2 years. And he shows up and all of a sudden y'all are the bridesmaids again and y'all ain't shit and he's making y'all who y'all are. You don't want to keep hearing that shit.
I mean, my thing is it just comes to a point where accountability is across the board. I don't care who you are. If you're on a football team, you're gonna be held accountable if you're not performing. That's it. I don't care if you're the quarterback or you're the kicker. I mean, if you're not doing what you're supposed to do, you're gonna be held accountable. And fans, that's why I don't like to get in debates with people on Twitter anymore, because you have some of the most irrational people when it comes to stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
They don't want to admit when shit's going left.
Of course. I mean, you have these fans who still are trying to tell me that Sony Michel can't play football.
Right, and I mean, look, I stepped away from the Georgia Bulldogs organization, but there's no doubt I'm a big fan of Sony Michel. I always have been.
Pooh, look, it's not. We're not blaming Carson Wentz. We're not saying he should even do anything differently. What we're saying is, based on how he's perceived and what the perception is, that is the issue right now. People perceive him as the golden boy. Right. And the team is, what it's like? I'll give you a perfect example. It's like Kyrie Irving. The only difference is Carson doesn't carry himself like Kyrie Irving. But as far as how his teammates view him and as far as how his teammates look at the media and how the media, makes them out to be the bridesmaids, just like they did with Jaylen Brown and Terry Rozier and Gordon Hayward and Jason Tatum. Oh, it's the young guy's fault. That's the same way they look at Carson Wentz. It's the same way.
I mean, you got to look at it like, for the most part, you had some injuries. But at the end of the day, he still had enough talent to do something. Not saying that it's all his fault. You still had Aguilar dropping catches. You had some people not getting open. The defense wasn't doing right, and that just go on the back and holding accountability for those people as well. But that's the thing. You hold accountability for those people, but nobody says nothing about Wentz. Like he hasn't. Like shit don't stink. It's like accountability goes across the board.
Yeah.
Listen, I tell you, I'll be the first one to tell you. You can look at the Falcons and look what they do offensively. They do a great job offensively, but that entire defense sucked. Now, the same thing about that, even though the defense sucked, why the offense is too damn good that they can't hold the ball a little bit longer to keep the defense on the sideline and make the game a little bit more competitive.
Yeah.
Anything else y'all got with that? Because
So are we basically saying no CWO? We're not doing that anymore? No Carson Wentz order? None of that? Because it just seems like that's what it feels like, especially listening to the back and forth and Pooh in the chat and then Eagles Nation. It just seems like there's this connection between Skins fans and Philly fans, this shared misery because we're so freaking close to each other that see so many Eagles fans just going in on Wentz. And at the same time,
but it's the thing. The problem.
But at the same time, I understand that there was the fans that put this image on him in the first place.
I can speak.
It's few far in between. The ones who go in on Wentz, those are the minority, and rightfully so. I don't think you need to go all the way in on them. But it's just what gets me is the people who defend Wentz to no end. They go way too far with defending. I'm like, he's not. He done something wrong as well,
From personal experience, I had this situation in high school where we went on a 3-game skid, and you had a quarterback who's running basically the option offense, and his job is to throw the ball 10 times, and he can't complete 3 passes. Yet every time we come in the locker room, it's, you fumbled, you dropped this pass, and I'm like, yeah, but the other 7 passes were out of everybody's fucking reach. So when are we going to start holding him accountable for his sorry ass job? He doesn't do anything. So it's like that point was we had to have a players only meeting and say, look, dude, we don't care that you're a nice guy. We appreciate it, but we don't give a fuck. The coaches are looking at you like you're the golden boy. And I'm sorry, but you need to play better. Whether they believe it or not, we're telling you need to play better. And
that's basically what it is. It's basically what it is.
So the players are going to have to come to Carson and say, look, bro, we're not responsible for everybody's perception of you, and you're not either. But at the end of the day, we all need to play better. Just remember that. That's it.
What other games we got?
Jordan Howard. So the last game is the Patriots and the Jets.
Why are we talking about this?
We're talking about it because it's funny. That's why we're talking about
I think I was the only one who picked. I think I was the only one that picked the Jets in this one, and I just threw it. I just took a chance on it. I didn't really care if I lost this game or not.
Where do I begin? This Patriots defense, man. Patriots defense, man.
Yeah, they're looking very good. Yeah.
The thing is, we still haven't gotten our offense going to where it can be because we have injuries. But I love how every time somebody thinks Tom Brady's falling off, he just goes and shuts them up again.
That's a strike. Come on.
He just goes and proves them wrong again. Oh, Tom Brady, his arm's not what it used to be. His reflexes are slowing down. He's getting happy feet in the pocket, and then he throws a pass like he threw the doorstep and just dropping the pocket. Right. So, Patriots obviously far and away the favorite for the Super Bowl this year. Sanu just adds to that. Once we get healthy, get Gordon back. We actually inquired about O.J. Howard, but the Bucs weren't falling for that.
Yeah, I don't blame them. The Bucs actually have a pretty good nucleus. They're just one quarterback away, basically. They're one quarterback away. That team is actually in a pretty good shape. Jameis just got to go.
The sad thing, every time we talk about the Buccaneers, it brings up something that me and you talked about a while ago. I said that Mike Glennon should have stayed.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I said that Mike Glennon should have been a starter, and he had a hell of a lot of promise. And now, of course, everybody looks at Hard Knocks and they're like, oh, he has confidence issues and blah, 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 blah. That wasn't the Mike Glennon that was playing on the Bucs. Okay, because that Mike Glennon that was playing on the Bucs, the same Mike Glennon that, Jets fans wanted on their team when he became free, he was good. He was really good. And I think this should have been a legitimate quarterback competition back then, and honestly, the Bucs might not be in a position they're in now. But that's another story for another day. The Jets are fucking putrid. Their quarterback came out and said he was seeing ghosts, which I have no issue with because he doesn't remember he has a mic on when he's talking on the bench. So I'm not even gonna bash him for that like everybody else was. But we were sending so many different looks at him, pressure from all different spots. Man coverage is just crazy tight. This Patriots team is dominant, man.
Yeah,
Chris Thomas asks, "You think Gilmore is defensive player of the year?" Honestly,
right now I would say yes. I don't see anybody else right now.
Yeah,
I can say yes.
He almost has to be.
Yeah.
When you see, I mean, when you think about how much he impacts each game, in all phases, whether it's tackling or just shutting down the side of the field or making clutch plays when you need him. Yeah, I mean, he almost has to be right now.
Yeah. Hey, we got any other scores? Are we good?
That's it. We're good.
Nah, that's it.
All right. Let's pull up this XFL bullshit real quick. Let's get some of these.
Damn. You was the one that wanted to talk about now is bullshit.
Yeah,
I know, right?
It's not too bad. It's not too bad. It's low key bullshit. Let's see. Let me pull this up.
This LeBron video is hilarious.
Is this the right one I want to look at?
Oh, Lamar Jackson, Offensive Player of the Year.
Well, I know they went by skill.
No, I mean he could be, but no.
Oh man, I'd have to think about that.
Yeah,
I had it where it's like each team's picks.
All right, where is that? Give me that link because I think I got that too. Is that the Sporting News link?
Yes.
Okay, let me ask you a question, VF. Okay, Aaron Rodgers, is he in that conversation?
Yeah, I mean you got like 4 or 5 players in that conversation. That's why I say he's not.
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying he's not. I mean Lamar Jackson is.
I'm having a brain fart, but geez.
But as far as defensive player, there's not a list of defensive players you can put in that category. You can put Aaron Rodgers, you can put Lamar Jackson. You can actually I got to look at a couple other stats. I know there's a few.
Oh, Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, Christian McCaffrey's another one. You can actually even put Russell Wilson there for a second. Like you got like 4 or 5 players. So it's not a lock like Stephen Gilmore. Stephon Gilmore is like a lock for defensive player. There's nobody else around right now that actually even, doing it right now. So,
Shaq Barrett for a second, but the Bucs are falling off. So
yeah. Let's look at these. I got the DC Defenders up first. I think they had 10? They had 10 rounds.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and let's see, from what it looks like, it's like they had a chance 10 picks per position category because he had skill positions, offensive line, front 7, and defensive backs.
Well, let's
open phase picks.
Yeah, let's just look at the players and see if we see anybody that stands out that we know.
Can you zoom over it?
Oh, you need me to zoom it? All right, hold on 1 second. Let me zoom that for everybody.
Oh wow, how about to say?
You gotta be kidding me. It won't zoom.
Man, Raptors are still elite defensively. I'll say that.
It will not zoom.
That's cool. That's whatever.
Yeah, I'm gonna get y'all squinty eyes on.
Pretty much.
Yeah, I know because it used to zoom. It doesn't zoom now. I wonder why.
StreamYard out here hating.
No, I think that's something to do with my mouse.
That's crazy.
Because I know if I hit control and thing, it'll zoom, but it's not doing it now.
Doug Thomas said, "What about offensive and defensive rookie of the year?" Offensive rookie of the year.
I'm gonna have to throw McLaurin's name into it.
Is Kyle Allen a
rookie?
Is Kyle Allen a rookie?
I think so. No, wait. I think he is. I wouldn't say it.
I don't know any of them right now. The only thing
I don't think it would be deep.
I'd have to think about it.
Yeah, the only lock I know right now is Stephon Gilmore. Everybody else is like it's so spread out. Yeah, there's
as far as defensive, there's one person that has it knotted up as far as rookie, and that's Joey Bosa.
Is it Joey or Nick?
Joey. Nick. I was
about to say Nick is probably like the only one.
Bosa. Yeah. As far as offensive,
there's no list. There's no list of guys like that. There's no list. There's too many areas where there's a list of guys that you can say somebody is somebody, but for the most
Yeah.
part, you got to lock on a few of them.
Yeah.
But let's see right here. I wish I could zoom this in a little bit, but I can't. The XFL draft live results picks. All right, Cardell Jones went to DC Defenders.
Yep.
You also have Orson Charles out of Georgia. I remember him. Donnell Pumphrey from San Diego State. I heard of Max McCaffrey out of Duke.
Yeah, I heard about him.
He's
too.
pretty good.
Yeah, he's a pretty good receiver. So I've
Christian
heard
McCaffrey's younger brother or older brother, one or the
something
other.
like that. Yeah. Offensive line wise, I don't know anybody on this list.
Yeah, I'm looking through myself. I really can't see anybody else other than
Front seven.
safety from Florida, Matt Elam.
Yeah, I remember Matt Elam played at Florida, defensive back. I do it, and
Didn't he
Jalen
have
Myrick.
concussion problems or something?
Huh?
Didn't he have concussion problems? That's why he's out of the league.
I think so.
Yeah, because I thought, oh wait a minute, then there's another safety, Raheem Moore.
Raheem Moore out of
Oh
UCLA,
God, isn't he? old now?
Yeah, he's in there.
Yeah, and I remember Jalen Myrick out of Minnesota.
And then I don't know if anybody remembers his name, Ladarius Gunter. That
I
name
remember
just
him.
I remember him
yeah.
in college, but I didn't know anything about him in the NFL. Let's see, the Houston Roughnecks. Connor Cook out of Michigan State.
Yeah, Connor Cook
I
right
remember
out
him.
the gate. Sammy Coates.
Sammy
Connor Cook was on the Raiders a couple years ago.
I'm actually surprised he's still
Cam
not.
Phillips.
I'm
That
surprised
name sounds familiar.
Yeah, I'm surprised
Yeah.
he's not in the NFL still. Connor Cook he's actually a pretty decent quarterback.
Okay,
Cam
I just
Phillips,
need
remember
Max
him?
to get out this inning.
I remember Andre Williams out of Boston College. He was a pretty good running
He
back.
was good.
Yeah, he really was. Offensive line, I don't know anybody on this list.
Dude, I honestly don't think we're gonna know any of these offensive linemen because that's one thing that the NFL does not let get away.
Yeah, that's true.
If
Front
they can call your ass from home.
front seven, the same thing. I don't know anybody here. Defensive backs, let's see. I don't know anybody
Yeah,
there.
I don't see. Wait a minute,
Brent-
Ed Reynolds? No, I don't.
No, I don't know any.
I don't know their names either.
They did pick up Coney Ely out of
Missouri.
They did get him. All right, let's look at New York Guardians. That's a pretty decent name.
Matt McGloin.
Matt McGloin out of Penn State. He played for the AAF.
And he played for
Matt
Didn't
McGloin
he
played for the
play?
Raiders.
Didn't he play? He played for the Raiders
He
too.
played for the Raiders.
Fuck.
Too. He got drafted by the Raiders, I think. Tanner Gentry. I heard that name before. I think that was mostly in college though.
Houston's up 2-0 on the Nationals.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Marquise Williams, quarterback out of North Carolina. I heard that name as well.
Yeah.
Offensive lineman, nobody here. I don't know anybody there.
Wait a second. I know somebody. Ari Quandio. He used to be on the Redskins. He was their guard.
Oh, okay.
But it's funny because I know obviously they don't start until the spring, but the reason why the Redskins didn't keep him was because he was injured.
Right. Front seven. Anybody? Nick DeLuca. I heard that name before.
Yeah.
That's Garrison Smith. I heard that name at Georgia, but he was a backup at Georgia. Yeah, I don't know anybody there. Defensive backs. Nobody on defensive backs. I don't know anybody. There's a bunch of no-name guys. George Johnson out of Rutgers is a notable pick. Oh, okay. That team look like it's gonna be trash. Dallas Renegades. You got Landry Jones. Between him and Carter,
that surprises me. That
that's what I'm about to say. He should still be in the NFL because he did not play bad for the Steelers.
Yeah, the Steelers are dumbass.
hold on.
Look at him now.
Lance Dunbar.
What?
Lance Dunbar,
Yeah.
He's playing with him.
He used to play for the Cowboys.
Yep. Oh, Cameron Artis Payne is another one that
Donald
plays with him.
Parham.
I remember that dude. He was on the Panthers last year.
Yeah, Cameron Artis Payne was good. Yeah.
Wow.
Demetrius Flowers, I heard that name before.
They're gonna cook some dudes this year.
Yeah, they might be all right. Yeah.
They got. Oh God, Josh Hart wrote his ankle.
The only reason, this one player on the offensive line, I only know his name because in my Madden CFM, I actually picked him up a couple of times. Pace Murphy out of Northwestern State. He plays tackle.
Yeah, Pace Murphy. Yeah, I heard that name before too. Who else we got? Front seven. I don't see anybody here. Oh, Jonathan Massaquoi from Troy. He played for Atlanta. I remember him.
Yeah, I remember.
I don't see anybody else though. Defensive backs. Who we see here? Nobody. I don't see anybody.
Nah, I thought that was a familiar name. Guess not. Nope. I don't
No,
see anybody.
I don't see anybody. The only notable pick they got was Ryan Broyles out of Oklahoma. That I'm surprised that he's not an NFL.
I know Marquise Flowers was
I heard that
on
name
the skin squad for a little bit, just in preseason.
Right.
So that's
Tampa Bay Vipers. Aaron Murray out of Georgia. I don't know about
Devon
that.
Smith. Wasn't he on the Panthers?
I think so.
Yeah.
Wait, receiver?
No, running back.
He's a running back.
DeJuan Smith. Sorry, I can't see. That's why I'm just listening.
Yeah, I cannot zoom this thing to save my life. I wonder why it's doing that. That's cool.
I'm listening. Thank you, God. The ending.
Offensive line. Let's see. Nobody I see. Defensive front seven. I'm sorry. Devin Taylor out of South Carolina. I heard that name before, but outside of that, nobody else.
Yeah, I don't recognize anybody here.
Defensive backs. Nobody. I don't see anybody.
No, they're all toast to me.
Yeah, it look like that could be a pretty much trash team. Feel sorry for Aaron Murray. St. Louis Battlehawks. Christine Michael and Jordan.
Wow.
Yeah, and Jordan Tamu from Ole Miss. Two guys that I know of.
Christine Michael hanging out with Johnny Manziel too much now. He's out.
Yeah, and their backup running back is Matt Jones out of Florida.
Yep.
They have a pretty good running game.
Yeah. Your boy Matt Jones.
Didn't he? Was he on Birmingham in the AFL?
I don't think
that was Trent Richardson.
Yeah, I fuck with Matt Jones.
Yeah, Matt Jones is good. He played pretty good with.
No, I thought Matt Jones was a backup. Well, not Birmingham. Maybe another team. I thought Georgia or something like that.
Let me see who else we got. Yeah, nobody on the offensive line I see. I heard of Jake Campos before, but I don't know him like that. Front seven. I don't see anybody. Will Hill is a defensive back for him. I know him from Florida.
Wow. Will Hill, that motherfucker old too.
Baltimore. Yeah.
I know him. Trey Caldwell as well as another one.
Elliott Fry. Isn't that the Eagles' old kicker? Or was that the Bear? No,
I don't know. He was a kicker.
Maybe for Oakland. I thought I seen Elliott on the Eagles. Maybe like a preseason or something like that.
St. Louis Battlehawks. That's a weird name. Brandon Silver's out of Troy. Whatever.
You mean Seattle Dragons?
Oh, I'm looking at it. I saw it right above it. My bad. Yeah, Seattle Dragons. St. Louis Battlehawks, still a weird name. Seattle Dragons.
Trey Williams. I remember him.
Yeah, Trey
Williams.
Was
on the Redskins preseason roster. Folks wanted him to be on the team. So what? Keenan Reynolds.
Yeah, that's a
Navy.
All right, first off, what the fuck is a Battlehawk?
Exactly.
Man, y'all could have came.
My advice to you, Bills, Google.
I guarantee you they wouldn't have an explanation if I asked them, and that's the whole point. Google will help me, but if you ask them, why'd you name your team the Battlehawks? Exactly.
Whatever, yeah, exactly. Nobody on the offensive line I know. The front seven, I do know Nick Temple and Will Sutton. I've heard of those names. That's it. Defensive backs. What defensive backs they have?
Wow, I type in Battlehawk and some Fortnite shit pops up. All right, I'm good.
Yeah, that's all you need to know, right?
I'm good. I'm so good. Jesus.
Pooh said he knows Fred Ross. What team Fred Ross was on? Because I don't know.
Name sounds familiar.
Fred Ross. Where?
He said he know Fred. Oh, Fred Ross out of Mississippi State, Seattle Battle Dragons. I never heard of him.
They're the Dragons. They're not the Battle Dragons.
Let's
not make up names for them.
Yeah, start putting battle in front of everything. That'd be fucking hilarious.
Dragon Hawks or Battle Dragons.
The Los Angeles Dragon Wildcats.
Right.
Let's go.
The Seattle Super Dolphins. I mean, who cares? You know?
Super Dolphins.
They actually nicknamed the Winless Dolphins, but
shit.
That's what makes them super. Defensive backs. Javante Dean. I heard of that name. Steve Williams out of California. Heard of that name.
Fucking Stone Cold Steve Austin?
I know, right?
That's his real name, Steve Williams.
I know that is his real name, right? Sterling
man.
Moore. Sterling
Uh-huh.
Moore out of SMU.
Wow,
And-
Sterling Moore.
Yeah, I heard that name. Notable picks, they got Levon Coleman and Joe Callahan. I heard of Joe Callahan before. He played out of Wesley. I heard he was all right. Levon Coleman out of Washington. I think he went undrafted or something like that.
Sterling Moore played for the Patriots.
Really?
Yeah.
That's probably where I know him from.
Yeah, played for the Patriots.
Malachi Jones, who said that's another one that he remembers. Yeah. All right.
We'll probably know some names in this next roster.
All right. What's the
LA
next one?
Wildcats. Rashad
LA
Ross. Right out the gate.
No, not that one. The one above that. This cat right here, Luis Perez. That dude balled his ass off in the AAF. He was probably like the best quarterback in the AAF.
I remember him.
Yeah, he played for the Birmingham Iron. He was actually pretty good.
Yeah, the Iron were killing everybody.
Yeah, he might be pretty good. Elijah Hood is another good running back. I'm surprised he didn't get drafted. Elijah Ross out of Arizona State. They might have a pretty good offense right here.
So you telling me none of these teams picked up bum ass Trent Richardson?
Nope.
Apparently not, because I don't see nobody
He
pick
did
him.
not get picked.
That nigga sucks. Heisman Trophy winner. That was one of the most fraud ass Heisman Trophy wins ever. Was him.
Yeah, pretty much. Offensive line, I don't see anybody there. Front seven, I see Trey Williams out of Auburn. I know that name. Corey Vereen out of Tennessee is another one. Adrian Hubbard out of Alabama, I know that name. I think that's it for that. What do we have here? Defensive backs. Anybody? I see Ahmad Dixon out of Baylor. I know him. That's pretty much it. Notable picks, you got.
I don't know.
Tywan Jones out of Michigan State was actually a pretty good linebacker for Michigan State. So with all the rosters, is that all of them?
Yep, that's it.
So with all this stuff that we got now, what do you think about this? You think this going to be a pretty decent? You think it's going to be a pretty decent?
Long as nobody's
It's going to be a pretty
stealing
decent
money.
league.
Wait a minute. Where's Sean Oakman at?
Who knows?
I was about to say, because you remember Sean Oakman, right?
Yeah, I
don't.
All right, so there was this dude on Baylor. He was like fucking huge DJ. Nigga he was like something out of a video game or something.
Yeah, he was like, he had like a video game body type.
I didn't know who that guy's name was.
Yeah.
Oh yes. Zimmerman just hit a home run.
Okay.
Is that 2-1 or 2?
I think it's a solo shot.
Oh.
Okay.
So Oakman. Oh, good.
So it's 2-1 Houston.
Okay.
Gotcha. Right.
Yeah, Oakman. He ended up having some domestic violence situation, and the female ended up lying. Like she made it the whole fucking thing.
Damn,
and that's how he ended up not making it to the league. Yeah.
Yeah, I understand. Like, it happens way too often now. You know what I mean?
Because he was good. He ended up not making it to the league as a result. So
damn, and Cole knew he gave up that home run. After he pitched the ball, he just threw his hand up like shit. It just
dang.
Those no doubt home runs are a bitch, yo. All you can do is turn and watch them fly.
So
exactly.
Are we watching when this league starts?
Why not?
Yeah.
Nothing comes on. Nothing comes on in the spring, right?
Yeah, I mean, we gave AF a try. Why not, right?
Yeah, I mean, might as well.
So
Vince McMahon's behind it, so I just want to see what kind of bullshit they throw in.
Right.
Luckily,
So
hopefully nobody's stealing any money. That's
right. I was about to say,
all I'm worried about.
Think it's going to last 1 year?
I think they'll make it through the season.
Think they'll make it at least through a season?
Yeah, because that was sad that AAF couldn't even finish their season.
Yeah, and the thing about it is the product was getting better and better by the week.
It was.
It just sucks that it couldn't.
Easy accessibility and yeah.
Right. The product was getting better. Like the first couple of weeks, it's all a little rust, but it had promise. And once people got in the swing of things, these guys only practice like once or twice before the season actually started. So
yeah.
And the funny thing about it, people are actually getting hit in that game, and No
Right.
penalties. That was the thing, the lack of penalties on routine hits.
Yeah, that
you know
first
what?
big hit in that game that we watched, the first game, I was like, all right, I could
Especially
get behind this
there was
league.
the quarterback that got hit, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
His helmet went
what
flying.
flag?
His helmet went flying. Yeah, it's like that's when people started to take notice. Like, wait a minute, these guys are actually letting these guys play. We're going to give this a shot. And after a couple of weeks, the football started to get better. Then you started hearing reports about money wasn't allocated right, people taking money and stuff, and it just didn't survive.
Got all these people in place that supposedly know what they're doing, but still the money was lacking. That's some bullshit. Somebody's stealing.
Right. So hopefully this will work out to be a longer. I give it at least 2 seasons. I think once it makes to the 3rd season, I think it's going to be a very long term after that.
One step at a time. Let's see if they can get through their first few games.
Hey, the longer Vince McMahon can stay occupied with the XFL,
the better the product on the wrestling side.
The better the wrestling side. I'm cheering for this motherfucker until the wheels fall off, man.
I'm about to say, so you root for the XFL for other reasons?
I'm rooting for the XFL for selfish reasons.
Right.
I think it'll be okay. I think they make it through at least 1 season.
I mean, I think they got some pretty good talent, so I think they're going to be good. It's just that, like you said, is the money got to be right,
It's going to be interesting if Rivera lights up this league too. He might have to get a look in the NFL.
That guy, him and Luis Perez, those 2 guys, I really think
Perez. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, Perez.
Yeah, I think Perez, he was good enough to get it. I'm surprised he doesn't have a job in NFL based on what he did in AAF. Because I mean, you're looking at that situation in Miami right now. Not to say that he don't deserve to be in that situation, but he's better than those 2 that's down there now.
I mean, shit. XFL keep going how it's going. We might see Josh Rosen over there.
Right.
Like, fuck this. Y'all gonna keep treating me like shit. I ain't playing for the Miami Dolphins. I'll go and play for the Battlehawks.
The Seattle Dragon Water guys.
Dragon Water.
All right, let's talk about this NBA debut. Bills, I'm gonna let you take it away because you've been on the NBA more than anybody. What are your thoughts about the debut and what are you going to see at least for I'm not going to say for the entire season. Things could change. So more or less like what you think going to happen at least the first quarter of the season.
Well, we talked about this the other night. I'll start with the bad. I think the bad, Charlotte's going to be as bad as it gets. They're bad. Like, they're really bad. Like, Terry Rozier is their best player bad. So they're going to be bad. The Knicks are going to surprise people. I was talking to my boy the other day. I'm like, they put together these 1 year like veteran minimum contracts, and you would think they were trying to tank, which they are, but they're gonna fuck around and play themselves out of good draft position because they got some good players on the team. I mean, you got Trayer coming back, you got Knox coming back, you got Ntilikina, who's like their 3rd point guard. You got Elfrid Payton, you got Dennis Smith, you got Julius Randle you signed. Taj Gibson, you got Bobby Porter. So it's like the Knicks might surprise some people. And I mean, I think the Warriors take a big hit if Klay Thompson doesn't play, because now they're saying he might not play the whole season, which, originally there were rumors he'd be back around All-Star break or December. So that's a big change. I didn't see him going very far with him because I just don't think they have enough. But without him, it's like, goodness, what's going to happen? They might miss the playoffs. Celtics is gonna be interesting. You got the cancer out of the, got the cancer out of the locker room, or at least the way the young boys viewed it, cancer out of the locker room. So now you got Kemba Walker, you got Enes Kanter. There's gonna be a lot of young guys playing a lot of minutes. So that's gonna be interesting.
Still there, right?
Tatum's still there, yeah. Tatum had a bit of an off year.
I don't know why I keep thinking that he got traded or something. I mean, that's one cat you don't. Me and you have been on the record saying that that's one cat you don't get rid of if you're Boston.
No. I wouldn't trade. People were talking about trading him for Anthony Davis. I'm like, nope.
No. Yeah, me and you were both saying that. Like, no.
He's a real deal. So yeah, I mean, it's gonna be interesting. I have LA as my favorite right now. I don't think the Clippers bench is gonna be able to do the same shit that they did last year. They kind of snuck up on people. And this year with Kawhi and PG, you're not gonna be able to sneak up on people. You got a target on your head now. So I think LA has the pieces to go all the way. Defensively, they're gonna be really good. You got LeBron and AD. I think the Lakers are my favorite. in either the East. Philly's really good. Milwaukee will probably be back to where they pretty much were, but I think Philly might make it to the finals this year. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
You think the Philly might make it?
Yeah, the bench, their bench is a question mark, but if you look at that starting five, where you got Ben Simmons, Josh Richardson, Joel Embiid, Tobias Harris, and Al Horford. I mean, Jesus.
I forgot about that. They're pretty stacked. I wanted to say Milwaukee, but I don't see Antetokounmpo actually being any better than what he was last year.
Eric Bledsoe is the inconsistent factor for them. It's like he's so inconsistent.
To be honest, both of them are.
Yeah.
Let's keep it honest. It's like they should have went to the finals, but it's just that team they just fell off like really quick. They weren't the same players, and I don't get it. I don't know why.
Pooh, ain't nothing wrong with Brett Brown. All right, when one of your star players don't want to shoot the ball, that handcuffs your entire offense.
No, but so on a serious note, once you said that, I think that the Sixers they may be the team.
Yeah, maybe one or two pickups off the bench because their bench is kind of right now. But the East seems kind of wide open. The West is definitely wide open. I didn't even bring up Denver.
Yeah,
I didn't bring up Denver. Oof.
I think the one thing I said, once the season was over and we saw all these free agency moves, we said this on the podcast earlier this year. I like the fact that there's so many players kind of spread around. Even though Sixers do look stacked, they still can be had based on other players and on other teams. Yeah. So it's going to be a really good season. I'm taking it as a quarter at a time. 82 games. So I'm saying the first 20 games and the next 20 next. Because right now, what we see now, yeah, you're going to have a favorite, obviously, that's going to be there in June, but it's really hard to say what's really going to happen because it's such a long season.
I mean, baseball and basketball are really the two sports where, right around the trade deadline, these championship teams really start making that one move that's like, wow, they might win it all.
Right.
And basketball could easily have that with, Philly or, because it just changes, team situations change. They could start out with high hopes, like, for example, Indiana might start out with high hopes and halfway through the season, they might, fuck this. We're going to rebuild. Oladipo's not healthy. Let's trade away somebody. And they'll trade away somebody. Boom, Miles Turner ends up somewhere. You know what I'm saying? So, so it's going to be interesting and because hell, I think the season starts when Zion comes back, honestly.
Folks be tuning in December at that point.
It's December, yeah. I'm holding off on my league pass till December, so the Pelicans on tonight, but they ain't gonna get much of my viewing time other than that because Zion's who everybody wants to see. So it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be. I will say this: there's more parity now than there's been maybe ever. Let's go back to the 70s.
Yeah. I can get it. I'm with you on that. Anything else you want to add to it, DJ? I mean, you want to talk about your Wizards or anything about that you want to?
Well, as far as the Wizards are concerned, there's really not that much to talk about. This is going to be Bradley Beal's team for this year.
Yeah, it's transition period.
Yeah. So right now you got a lot of players that are virtually unknowns on that team. You have Thomas Bryant, who's emerging. You have the rookie Rui. I'm gonna just go that far because I can probably say his last name, but I'm not going to. You have. It's definitely gonna be a question mark at how Ish and I can't remember his name. Yeah, the other backup point guard. I'm short.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Little guy.
I forget his name. But...
I can't remember his name. Save my life. Somebody help me out in the chat.
I'll find it.
Yeah. Because he was the main guy on the Celtics at one point.
Oh, IT.
Yeah, IT, Isaiah Thomas. I don't know why I couldn't remember, but yeah, there'll be question marks to see how they perform. I know I can't get IT to perform to save my life in NBA 2K. So it remains to be seen. But yeah, they are in transition. They are clearly in rebuild mode, but they're rebuilding around Bradley Beal and John Wall. So
I think y'all gonna sneak in the playoffs.
I think we could sneak in the playoffs too, but Probably had to go through Chicago to do that.
The thing is, so looking at the Eastern Conference landscape, there's a couple of teams that made the playoffs last year that for me are question marks, like Indy. I could see the Heat possibly sneaking in. I can see the Bulls, but they're gonna have to figure out that rotation because their bench is kind of weak.
Hey man, the Bulls gonna be third seed.
All right.
He's still playing 2K19.
Noble said he's gonna win it all. You say it's gonna be a third seed.
Hey, we out here.
Oh man, but I mean, yeah. So looking at it, Washington can sneak in. You got a couple teams. Detroit, I think Detroit made it last year. So
yeah,
you got a wide
do
open
it on the back end because what's the name is out with knee and hamstring issues.
Who?
Griffin.
Ooh. Yeah, I'm sorry, but the end of his career is not going to look very good.
Yeah, he's out until November. That's what they're saying.
Like when Blake gets, what's he now? What's he like? Maybe 29. Like once he gets to like 31, 32, it might start getting kind of ugly for Blake.
Yeah, who else is like another player is like that?
He's 30, yeah. So
what's that other player that played for Orlando?
Dwight?
No,
Aaron Gordon.
He's gonna be another one like that. Once the athletic ability goes down, it's gonna be ugly to watch.
And for Blake, he's evolved his game, but now it's just gonna be injuries catching up to you from all that jumping and doing shit that dudes your size had no business. We see it with Zion. I told everybody Zion needs to lose weight. That motherfucker's 284 pounds.
It's just as I thought. So Blake is 30 years old.
Yeah, he's 30.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
the next couple of years, it's gonna be. I don't know, man. I can't see him staying healthy. I hope he does, but those knee problems, man, he's had them for a while. So that's going to be interesting. But yeah, Aaron Gordon's another one. Zach LaVine. Zach LaVine, it's health with him. Like none of these guys don't have.
I mean, it's health with him, but as he get older, I mean, he's a guy that's been working on his game. I think he'll be fine.
If he stays healthy.
If he stays healthy. You got guys like you said, like Blake and Aaron Gordon. These guys, they're just gonna get back because they're old. I mean, they don't have too much skill. I mean, Blake had tried to work on it, but you see what that got him. Aaron Gordon, I don't even know if he can shoot.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like LaVine, it just seems like to me he'll end up being one of those guys that, yeah, he can play, but maybe he has another debilitating injury and he's just like the rehab's not even worth it.
Yeah.
It'll be the same. It'll be the same with Blake, wear and tear, and just like I go back to Zion for a second. 284 pounds. I mean, you're 6'6".
Like I said, it's possible because like you said, when you don't really play with knee injuries. So
all right, NA, you force it. You force it. He says Zion gonna be NBA's Jamarcus Russell. He already ain't because his work ethic is way better than Jamarcus Russell. He actually takes the game seriously. He's definitely not gonna be Jamarcus Russell.
You don't realize Jamarcus Russell was like he just wanted to drink lean all day.
Jamarcus Russell was a bust for a completely different reason. That dude was a bust. They said one time they sent him a blank tape. And then the next day he came to practice. They asked, "Did you watch it?" Yeah, I saw everything.
Yeah, I saw everything.
I saw everything on the tape. Yeah, I get it. Like, bro, there was nothing on there. So
like who was the coach back then for the Raiders? Was it Callahan?
It might have been Bill Callahan. Yeah.
It was Callahan it could have been what's his name? Who's the coach now?
Del Rio?
No, Gruden.
I don't think Gruden was there.
Gruden wasn't there.
Gruden was on the Buccaneers at that time.
Was that because remember now this was what? Oh no. I keep
he was on the Buccaneers.
I keep thinking this was 02. No, this was like 08. Yeah. They sent him a blank tape. And said, like, listen, we need you to study this and get back to us. And then when he comes back, like, hey, did you study it? Like, yeah,
I got everything, yo. I understand everything. But no, I mean, Zion's a gym rat. I don't think he can turn into Jamarcus Russell. If he fails, it'll be because his body fails him.
Listen, nobody's going to turn it. You have to try to turn into Jamarcus Russell.
Well, Anthony Bennett.
No, he didn't try. He was just ass. At least Jamarcus Russell had talent.
Yo, I remember the night Anthony Bennett got drafted first. They showed him sorry ass highlights, and everybody else that got drafted behind him. I'm like, really, Anthony Bennett? Who the fuck are you?
And like his top highlight was like this Euro step layup.
Right? Who the fuck is Anthony Bennett? And then he went to the Cavaliers, and they're like, oh shit, we gonna be something this year. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, yo, it was like, nah. One thing you can say about Jamarcus had talent. He just didn't give a damn.
He did. He didn't give a fuck, bro.
He didn't give a damn. Like Anthony Bennett was just trash. I mean, there's nothing you could do about that.
Jamarcus Russell was Michael Vick that fell in love with food.
Right.
Like, imagine Michael Vick eating himself out of the league, and that would be Jamarcus Russell.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
Who's winning the Super Bowl? Stop that.
That's still too early.
Stop that. Stop that. We don't even know who's making the playoffs. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, you got like five. We got 5 or 6 teams with 1 losses.
Yeah, come on.
And
man.
even some of the teams who have 3 losses could get hot. You know what I mean?
I got to see these teams.
It's very easy. Like a 500 team right now can get hot, and all of a sudden, like they're the contenders.
Pooh, we don't even know who's making the playoffs yet.
Right? You know, like.
Oh, here goes Young Noble with his hate. Not the Patriots.
Like seriously, like right now. The Patriots are, obviously the favorites based on their history, but look at a team like the Colts. Like who's going to say that they don't have a good chance to surprise everybody? Let's be real.
I mean, depending on what kind of fraud ass niggas come out of the NFC.
Right, that's another thing.
Pete, look, Pete, there ain't nothing we can do to cheer you up, fam. I'm sorry. Last night was, we can't cheer you up, bro.
You have like 3 or 4 teams that can easily surprise you. Like right now, everybody say what's up with the Seahawks. They're looking good, but nobody can say that they're a Super Bowl run, type of team. But they can make that run.
Yeah, but Pooh, the difference is the NBA changes way less than the NFL as the season goes on.
And let's be honest. The Eagles and the Cowboys right now. The Eagles are only 3-4. The Cowboys are 4-3. Who's to say they can't make a run? Like,
you got time to predict who can get to the final. I mean, the NBA is different, man. The NBA usually the teams that you say will make it to the end.
Literally, like make it to the end. Yeah. We really just made the point that this is the first time in the NBA had parity in a long time, really. Where there's legit like 12 teams that can say, you know what, that team could be in the finals.
Well, and on top of that, our projections are based on who will win a 7-game series once you get to the playoffs. It's not like that in football.
Right, in football, like I said, right now, I would not be surprised if the Colts make a run. I wouldn't be surprised if the Seahawks made a run. I would not be surprised if the Eagles or the Cowboys make a run. But right now, they don't look like Super Bowl contenders right now.
It's like
like when you have teams that just week 12 or week 13, they get hot all of a sudden.
Yeah.
You don't have that in any other sport. So it's like,
that's what I'm saying. Like the NFL is all about who gets hot, who's clicking at the right time. The NBA, you ain't never seen a team. Oh, they're hot. Nobody gives a fuck. You got to win 4 games.
Right. I mean, even the ones who get hot are the dominant teams that go like 16-1 in the playoffs.
You got to win 4 games 4 times.
Right.
I mean, come on.
And even if you do that in a 6 or 7 game series and you lose 2 or 3 of those games in the series, you go like 6 games or 7 games in those series. That don't make you a hot team. That means
that's what I'm saying.
Battle tested.
So it's like barring fixing and all the behind the scenes bullshit, the best team usually wins in sports with series rather than single elimination.
Right.
I've seen several times that the best team didn't even make it out of the first round of the NFL playoffs. The Colts were the best team several times.
Like right now, like NA just said, Brissett is balling. Like seriously, but right now, nobody's going to sit there and say that they're a Super Bowl contender. But who's going to be surprised? Like week 13, we found out these guys have been on like a 7 or 8 game win streak, and we were like, you know what? Wait a minute, this is a team we got to look at.
It's very rare that the best team in football actually wins the championship. Now, people might say it's the best team in football. They might play like the best team in football, but honestly, a lot of times they dodge the best team in football by not having to play them.
This is another thing. The Patriots, 9 times out of 10, when they do win the Super Bowl, they're not necessarily the best team in football. No. They're just the more organized and well.
They're the best coached. They have the best I guess, player technically in the playoffs.
Overall, they're the best prepared team.
Yeah.
The teams that they end up beating are well more talented.
But it's like
you can't tell me that Seahawks team was more talented. They just didn't run the ball up the middle. We're not even going to talk about 28-3. Clearly, we knew who the more talented team at that time was.
Right. It's like there's no mistake that the Warriors made the finals, 6 times in a row?
Right. I mean, it's just that the Patriots just come off as the more prepared team, and that's another thing. That's another reason why you can't say that who's the contender that's going to win the Super Bowl, because it doesn't necessarily mean the best team. Look,
No.
the Chiefs were the better team against the Patriots last year. Look what happened to them.
Yeah, at home.
Let's be honest. So I mean, it's not necessarily that easy. So
Cowboys have been a better team than a lot of teams they've lost to at home in the first half.
Listen, the
first round.
The Cowboys been the better team for some years.
A lot of years, though.
Not even close. And that's why they're the joke of the NFL most of the time, because they end up falling flat on their face.
Chargers, Colts in the Peyton Manning era, it happens.
It happens.
That's how we make our picks each week. Who's a fraud? Who's not? Who do we believe in? Who do we not?
Why do you think NFL coaches are revered the way they are? Because they get their teams prepared. Case in point, look at the Falcons right now. All that talent, and what's the problem? The goddamn coach.
Yeah. NA asks, how legit is the 49ers D? They're legit.
I think the team in general is legit. I mean, there's still a question mark on Garoppolo, but I think that the team is legit. The defense is a lot better than advertised. But I think the team in general is legit. I'm gonna keep rooting for them because of their running back. I would love to see a Georgia Southern Eagle actually get a Super Bowl ring. Not saying that they will, but it would be nice to see.
Right.
But this week coming up, once we do our picks on Thursday, I'm rooting for them again. I don't even know who the fuck they play. I think they're gonna win though.
Damn, he just threw a 99-mile-per-hour fastball. Jesus.
I mean, that's just how it's gonna be. I mean, I would love to see that. I mean, that kid, I've watched him all 4 years at Georgia Southern. I mean, that guy was he was nice.
Right.
And I'm glad that a team took a pick on him, because they got a steal out of him. I think he went undrafted at that. I mean, that's just unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
Nelson Aguilar, DJ, you want to talk about that?
I kind of shed some light on it. It's Nelson Aguilar. I don't have a problem with him, like, overall. It's just that one particular play just it bothers me to the point where it's just like I don't know because obviously I didn't watch the game, but I watched that clip, and I'm trying to figure out, like, at what point are we in this game where you just feel like you don't want to put forth the effort to catch a pass. Mind you, your quarterback has a man in his face at that point and basically delivers a strike. I consider it a strike. You know, throw a 62-yard pass or a guy in your face, and you have the nerve to say, well, maybe our quarterback was rushed a little bit. It just seemed like it was, by the time I looked up, it was out of place. I'm like, no, it wasn't out of place. See, that's why you're not Deshaun Jackson. Oh. Deshaun Jackson would have easily came down with that. I know Deshaun may, even at an older age, is probably faster than this cat, but still. Nelson was in position to catch that pass, and he needed to put at least 100% effort into getting to that pass. And for deep pass catchers like myself, that's embarrassing. That's something that he would be sitting the bench for the next game. You ever throw my quarterback underneath any type of bus because you being lazy? Nah, not just one game. I wouldn't start his ass for the next 3 games.
So, wow.
Because it just shows me it just shows me that he was being lazy. I'm like, you got down there, you might as well go after the ball. What are you doing?
I agree with you. I agree with you with everything you said, but the Deshaun Jackson one, for me, it's like, honestly, Deshaun Jackson is the best at tracking deep balls I've seen ever since Randy Moss. There's been nobody better than those two in the history of the league. Mm-hmm. So I can't really hold Aguilar to, that standard.
I know, but when it comes to when the ball's catchable, and you don't make an effort to catch the ball.
Personally, I think in his entire career, I think he overachieved. Honestly, I don't think he ever was that good of a quarterback.
Well, yeah, because Eagles fans were shitting on him. The first couple of years, they wanted him off the team.
I mean, rightfully so. I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't think he was that good of a player in college.
But
Nelson Aguilar.
Oh yeah, no,
I don't think he was that good in college.
But even so, it's just like you took that time, you put forth the effort to get down there. Why not complete the play? To sit there and say, "Oh, by the time I looked up, it was out of." I'm like, so at what point were you going to look up? I'm like, Carson Wentz for that one throw threw it off his break,
Right.
which that was perfectly timed. So. Y'all probably obviously you practiced it this week, probably connected during practice. So how all of a sudden is it out of place? How is it that he's rushed? He threw it on time, to tell you the truth. And it's just pass catchers run underneath passes to catch them, not blame the quarterback for throwing it too early. That's the support excuse for just being lazy. And again, it offends me as a former wide receiver that he would say something like that, and when the tape clearly shows that the ball was catchable, you just alligator armed it or algalored it, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I mean, I saw the clip when you talking about the one he was going across the field, right?
Well, he was down the field, so it wasn't like he was going to get hit by anybody.
No, he was going down the field, but I'm just saying it was like a slant route, a long slant route.
No, it wasn't a long slant route. It was a post.
No post, yeah.
Oh, come on. It's not no long. Come on.
I mean,
you know the difference between a slant and a post. Come on.
I know, but I'm just saying.
Going to say long post route.
Based on what I saw, it looked like he was running across the field and the ball was like right in front of him, and he just let it fall in front of him.
Yeah, he ran a deep post.
Okay,
so Carson threw it right when he planted that outside foot. The ball was in the air.
There's no excuse. I don't even think he had to die for that. He should have just caught that.
Yeah, he could have. Look. When the game I played in on Sunday, I can give you both sides of what effort is. Why effort plays a factor in that play, because I had a chance to intercept a pass and possibly could have changed the game, the momentum of the game at that point. Even though plays later we wound up stopping the offense and we didn't give up any points, but I had a chance to return an interception for possibly 6. Mm-hmm. Now, the problem was I saw my teammate out the corner of my eye and I thought he had a better angle on it, so I didn't go after it. He winds up dropping the interception because he was thinking I was going to pick it off. So play wasn't made. Fast forward to later in the game where we need a stop. We're down by like 2 scores. We're playing cover 2. I'm the right safety. The slot guy does a deep post over top he pretty much splits the other safety. The other safety was playing up. So he got behind the other safety. I came all the way over from the right side. And because I just extended and used my reach, now Aguilar is a little bit taller than me, but because of the effort, I was able to knock down the pass. Like I prevented a touchdown.
Gotcha.
So that's the difference effort makes in those type of plays. And who knows if he would have been, if we would have gone 100% on that play, who knows what could have happened in the game? Like I said, I don't know when that took place in the game, but that would have made a difference. And it's just poor excuse. And then again, to throw the quarterback underneath the bus, that's a benchable offense. I would bench them for the next 3 games.
Oh wow, you got that college mentality. That's what they do in college. What else you got about that, Bill? You got anything to add to that?
Nah, I got a couple roasts. I got myself. So. Oh
yeah, that chat.
So
and I don't think any of these people are here. So some of them didn't show up.
Well, I'll give them some time to come back. Y'all can call them back if y'all want to. Let's start with Michael Jordan. All right, let's start with Michael Jordan.
That is funny.
Start with Michael Jordan. Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, I gave MJ the benefit of the doubt the first time I watched this video. I'm like, you know what? Maybe it's a little tongue-in-cheek there. But then I watched it again, and I'm sorry. He meant Stephen Curry is not a Hall of Fame caliber player yet. As in, if he retired today, he wouldn't go in Hall of Fame. Now, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I can't rock with that.
Let me bring up.
I'm obviously on the other side of this because I was rocking with you on that first glance, but I honestly think you're reading a little too far into it.
Let me just bring up
because you have a bias against MJ. So.
No, what? Whoa!
Yeah, you have a bias. Come on, we all know you don't like MJ. Come on, it's cat's out the bag. You might as well just say it. You don't like MJ, so you had to read it again just to make sure.
Thing from the
and
truth.
Your suspicions proved true based on a word that you finally added in.
Furthest thing from the truth.
Right.
I have no issue with MJ.
Then who's the best player, LeBron or MJ?
Wait, that means I have an issue with MJ?
I'm just saying.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Most of the time, whenever the conversation with MJ pops up,
I never come at
something
MJ.
negative to say
I
about
never
him.
come at MJ though. No.
Mm-hmm.
I have something to say about his fans because I think his fans are just some.
But
of
you
the
have nothing to
dumbest
say
people.
about LeBron James fans?
Of course I do.
And let's get back. Let's get back to the.
Because this is the topic. This is part of it.
Yeah, I'm about to say if you have to stay out of it. That's the topic.
No, here's the thing though. Like,
get back to the Steph Curry thing. Right?
We are talking about Steph Curry.
I have an issue
out the base of this.
I have an issue with all of the diehard fans of any player or team. Okay, the issue that I specifically have with MJ fans is the fact that if anybody says that he's not the greatest of all time, automatically they have no type of credibility to these people. They have no type of credibility. They have no argument. They don't know what they're talking about. If it's the age, then they're too young, or if they're older, then you just don't know what you're talking about. And it just they move the goalposts every time they talk about rings and things like that. That's my issue with MJ as far as his fans are concerned. As far as MJ is concerned, I have no issue with him. He's never claimed to be the greatest of all time. But then again, why would you when you have so many people to say it for you? I have no issue with Michael Jordan. Well, as far as a person.
Yeah,
now,
I'm about to say.
Now, as far as a GM and a president, I have a huge problem with him as far as a person who assesses talent. I have a huge problem.
That part was coming out.
Kwame Brown and Adam Morrison. That's all you
motherfucker traded Rip Hamilton for Jerry Stackhouse?
Well, you already had one person, Jay Williams, that has a problem with him. He was like, he's not a judge on personnel.
Kwame Brown.
True.
So that's what I'm saying.
Brown and Adam Morrison. That's all you need to know.
Exactly. So MJ, great player. Argument for greatest of all time? Hell yeah. But stay out of front office. Okay.
Look, I just look at it like this. I look at the fact that he literally said, just to go back on the Steph Curry thing.
Yeah.
I'm like, Steph Curry literally is still playing, so he's not in the Hall of Fame. I'm like,
but that's not what he meant.
Oh, you're inside his head.
I get.
Dude, because you did add a word that he did not say.
I get what you're saying,
and now you're thinking too
much. He said he's not a Hall of Famer yet. But what he meant by he's not a Hall of Famer yet isn't he's not physically in. He meant he is not a Hall of Fame caliber player yet. That's what everybody took from that, except you.
That's because everybody looked into it and thought too much into it. They were trying to figure out what this man was trying to say.
You say you're going to pull it up?
Right here. And they said, he said he's looking through the prism of the time of period he played. These guys are soft to MJ, and he probably thinks Steph Curry is a glorified DJ.
Okay. All right.
That's fucked up, man. Now that's fucked up.
So first off,
but that's NA's opinion. That's not MJ's opinion.
I'm just saying that's fucked up.
But he is looking at it through those prisms. I'm like,
I don't think he is. I don't think MJ looks at it like that.
Oh, so now you know how he looks at it too?
Well, wait. So you can have your perception how he looks at it, but I can't.
I'm going by what he literally said. But that's not perception. Those are facts.
But you just said you don't think that's his perception. You said you think that's his perception of the league, right?
Bill, I'm going off what he actually said.
No.
Right
I'm saying
there about
I'm
talking
about the other thing we just said though. As far as you said. You think that is his perception of the league, that they're soft compared to him.
I read the Jordan rules. It's in the book.
But so he said that the league is softer. That's nice. What I'm saying is
that's where I get because those are his thoughts. That's where I got them from. I'm going off of what I've
Even
read.
if he does think that he's wrong and he can have any opinion he wants to, but I'm sorry, I disagree. And at the end of the day, a man that is a 3-time NBA champion, as the best player on that team twice, 2-time most valuable player, first time unanimous, by the way, with a man named LeBron James in the league at the time, and he still won that 6-time All-Star.
It's very hard to say that he's not.
Scoring champion, steals leader, 50, 40, 90 club. He broke his record.
Hall of Famer.
Okay, man.
It's just that, look, at the end of the day, what happens is that we throw around Hall of Famers it's like we throw loose change on the ground.
No, they throw around.
You call somebody a Hall of Famer before they even have a chance to even get into the Hall of Fame or be brought up on it. I'm just saying you can talk about people being potentially first ballot and stuff like that, but to outright call somebody a Hall of Famer right now when they're still playing and they still haven't finished.
LeBron's still playing. You saying he's not a Hall of Famer?
Not yet.
Oh, okay, bro.
I'm just saying.
Next
not
topic.
there yet.
Next topic.
My
God.
I'm just saying. He literally said not yet.
That's not what he meant.
Really?
You know Michael
Jordan. He said
Jordan.
not yet.
Oh, my
Those
God.
are the final words he said. Not yet.
No,
you know what he meant.
You know what he meant.
Go ahead, VF.
He's not running the one now because he's still playing. But
of
I mean,
course.
he retires.
Exactly. When Steph Curry retires, and then if they ask MJ at that point, he'll probably have something different to say. Until then, everybody's tripping, including you. And I thought you had more sense than that.
So wait a minute.
Oh.
In 1989, when they called Michael Jordan the greatest player of all time, and he hadn't won a ring yet and made it to the finals, that was okay?
It was greatest of all time. I didn't say Hall of Famer.
What? So Hall of Famers.
I'm just saying.
Worse. Hall of Famers worse?
You can. They were calling. See, here's the thing. They were calling him greatest of all time, but no one even talked about Hall of Famer.
They called
nobody
him the
was looking at
basketball player of all time, and he hadn't made a finals.
And potential first. Let's see. It was when he. What was it? It was like after he won his first championship or whatever. Is when they start talking about potential Hall of Fame.
And that's picked in 1989, and they said he was the greatest basketball player ever. So you're telling me that saying Stephen Curry is a Hall of Famer is out of bounds, but Michael Jordan, who got his ass kicked 3 straight years by the Pistons, saying he's the greatest of all time is just it's fine and dandy?
I don't think he was the GOAT back then. Whoever said that was
bro. They came on CBS and said that.
Yeah, they need to be on. They need to go to AA and stop drinking.
See, you know what's funny because I didn't hear I didn't hear any of that until after he won the first 2 out of his 3 titles.
There's a video on YouTube where they said that. It's very well. It's very well up there.
Yeah,
they have the audio and everything.
I'm like, I look at it like this. That was probably the one occurrence, but other than that, a lot of other media outlets weren't saying that until after he won the second championship.
Yeah, because after he won his first one, then they also said, "Well, shit, he gotta be the greatest of all time now." Really?
I think
because he put the cap on it. It was just like, okay, not only he was like the best player in the league, now all of a sudden he finally gets his championship. Oh, he's got a second one. Oh, he's got a third. Oh, yeah.
Listen, man, y'all already know I'm a big Chicago.
At the end, at the end of the day,
go ahead, VF.
Go ahead, VF.
I'm just saying I'm a big Chicago Bulls fan, and I've been a fan since '91. But my thing was, I didn't think Jordan was the GOAT until like maybe 2000. I looked at his entire career, what he done. I mean, I'm not even looking at the Wizards. I'm just looking at everything that he did and all the players he went through, and the fact that he was 6 for 6 and the way that he done it for the most part in a dominant manner. I thought he was the greatest player I've ever seen. And that's nothing to take away from LeBron. That's not taken away from Steph. That's not taken away from anybody. That's just my personal belief. But I'm not about to go back and forth with somebody if somebody think otherwise. I mean, that's who they like. That's what I said in a video I did is on this channel about the LeBron and Jordan thing. The Jordan to me could be their LeBron when they were 9 or 10 years old. Who is the me to take away their childhood feelings about how they felt when they watched LeBron win their first title compared to me when I saw Jordan win that first title? I mean, to me, it's opinionated at the end of the day, but
Of course.
I think if they play each other 1-on-1, I think Jordan will win. Maybe I think it'll probably be 6-4 Jordan in a 1-on-1 out of 10 games.
So that's what I'm saying. So my thing is the issue I take with it is the only sport where this is the only sport where you say no, he's not, and you don't know shit about basketball all of a sudden.
Yeah, I can't deal with that.
Like I can't fuck with that. Like it's literally sacrilege to say Michael Jordan's not the greatest basketball player of all time. Well, you don't know what you're talking about. Well, who's your greatest of all time? Kareem. Well, he didn't do shit but shoot a sky hook. And that's when you say you don't know shit about Kareem. You don't know shit about basketball. You only have been taught to say Michael Jordan is the greatest of all time. You have no legitimate. Now DJ has legitimate cases. But think about how many people you encounter that'll say Michael Jordan's the greatest of all time. Now ask them why and see what they say. They don't have anything. Then you ask them, well, why is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar eliminated? They have nothing. Well, why is LeBron eliminated? Well, he's 3 okay, how many times did he make it? How many MVPs does he have? How many rings does Russell have since the ring argument keeps coming up? You see what I'm saying? So when you introduce all this shit, but that's my point. Yeah. When you introduce all that shit, it's like
I think people can make a legitimate case for their personal GOAT, but I mean, when you really look at it from a perspective, like you put it on the list of people, at the end of the day, nobody's going to be on point with their list. I mean, that's just what
but I'm saying it's just I don't like people who debate and then when you introduce new facts, they move the goalposts. Like I don't like that, and it happens in every MJ conversation. They can't stick to their argument.
No, I mean I understand that. That's why.
So that's my issue with MJ. It's not with MJ. Yeah.
No, so if somebody tell me who they think who's their greatest player, I'm like, okay, and I just keep moving. I'm not about to go back and forth. I'm like, what am I gonna do to change your mind? You know.
But as far as the Stephen Curry thing, I'm sorry, I can't agree with that.
No, I can't. I mean, MJ.
I can't.
I mean, I kind of get it if he's saying like not right now, but if he's saying ever, I mean, he needs to.
Which he never said. He said not yet.
But
no, that's true. He did.
It
say
just
not yet.
depends on how you perceive the not yet.
No, because after that, it is opinionated in a debate in the sports community. But other than that, if you go off what he just said not yet. No news.
It depends on how you perceive the not yet.
Again, that's what I said. It's debatable based on other people's opinions. But if you go off what he said, literally, he said not yet, which he is telling straight facts.
Yeah. Y'all got anything else before we go?
Oh, of course I do. Okay, so NA, I'll get the link for you. Let's talk about WWE 2K20, shall we?
Oh Lord.
so
I never had intention to buy it. Bill said I should try it, but I mean,
well, I didn't even tell you that. I didn't tell you that.
You didn't tell me to buy it.
Yeah,
you told me you did tell me I should try the game out because you said
this man pre-ordered pre-patch.
No.
WWE 2K.
Bill told me you haven't played a wrestling game in a while. At the very least, you should find a way to try it.
And that was the roster, yeah.
He could have at least told him to get 2K19.
Well, no, I told him about the roster this year because he said this was after the podcast last week.
Right.
So that's why it was just strictly the roster.
Right. He didn't tell me to buy it or anything. So, but
here's Obi-Wan Watson. He's like, of course, here we go.
So. I have a lot of people out here that just they love negativity, but the only thing,
Who you telling?
But the only thing they love negativity more is when you join in on the negativity. Now, God forbid I say, well, fuck, everything can't be bad in this game, right? Well, I go and find some positives, like I don't know, the AI was improved. They added a lot of new entrances. They've added a lot of new options as far as customization. They've added explanations for a lot of stuff. The commentary is a bit improved, but when I come and say this shit is, well, you always just look for the positive in these games. Really? Did y'all not listen to the podcast last week? What the fuck did we do with Madden for 30 minutes? Tear it to shreds.
Man, listen. When I saw when I saw everybody on the damn screen having a seizure, I thought.
So now I'll get to that, right? So I have never denied the flaws with this fucking game, not once. You can go back to the tweets, you can find them. It doesn't matter. You can find any audio of me talking about. I never denied any of these flaws.
Remember, he pre-ordered the game.
I did pre-order the game.
Mm-hmm.
I did because I wanted every character on the game, and because I know this is why I pre-ordered the game. I know for a fact when this patch comes out,
tie game 2-2.
And here's how I know that everybody will shut the fuck up, because the people who are acting like this game is
Wait a minute. Hold on.
Go ahead.
Nah, this is way off topic. I'm playing my 360, and I'm playing Forza 2.
Mm.
This game came out in what, 2005? This fucking game is 1080p 60. That's amazing for a game that long.
Yeah, it's insane. So
you can't get games on the PS4 right now to do that.
No, definitely not.
But
so it's like, I pre-ordered the game because I know for a fact that all these people that are talking about this game like it's just the worst fucking thing ever. As soon as this patch comes out, they're gonna shut the fuck up, because that's what they do. They hop on YouTube, they hop on Twitter, having not played the game. They see all these glitches, which we see from Madden Daily. We see people flying up in the air and shit. Yeah, we see that every day. I saw a clip in NBA 2K today that DJ posted in which LeBron had a ghost, must have been one of the ghosts Sam Darnold was playing against, help him up off the floor, and nobody said anything. So to me, it's just
that is true. Nobody responded to that post. I was highly disappointed in the Twitter community.
Let's stop right here. What did I say for the longest? What did I say in my last video that, you had the people coming in to dislike that shit because I was speaking the real? Once again, nobody checks 2K on anything. No, 2K could do some fucked up shit in their game and nobody says anything.
So that's the thing. I was like, you know what? I'll get to that NANA because that's an interesting topic. So I said, okay, I pre-ordered the game, right? I see this whole character list. I'm like, this is going to be great, right? I know a patch is coming because I'm not stupid. Because I'm not one of those people that go on Twitter and act, oh my God, woe is me. The game I didn't even pre-order fucking sucks, but I'm going to act like I paid my money despite the fact I haven't played it and bitch about it. And then when the patch comes out, they'll shut the fuck up. And they'll either buy it secretly and never post anything about it, or they'll go down the road and say, oh, I swallowed my pride and I bought it. Shut the fuck up. No, come out now and say that the game is the worst game ever, and then keep that same energy when the patch comes out, because you had that energy of the game can't be helped, right? This is what I was told. A patch can't help this. So when a patch comes out, because all the people that said a patch can't help it are all of a sudden asking for a patch. Go figure. I thought when I turned on this game today, I thought I was going to see the worst shit. I thought the game was going to crash as soon as I loaded the matchup. I thought the hit detection was going to be fun. I thought I was going to clothesline somebody by the turnbuckle, and then motherfuckers on the other side on the ropes, and boom, he goes down. That's what I thought. And I woke up, and I somehow, none of that happened. Oh, let me see what Obi-Wan was. So you're relying on the patch to fix, right? When, to be honest, it should have been dealt with. But hold on.
Come on, that's obvious.
But that's obvious. So you're arguing about that? You're arguing about the fact that I agree with that and didn't say it because it's rhetorical information? We're doing the Hollywood shit now.
You don't.
So now every time, every time that I say that a patch is coming out, I have to remind people and remember this patch is going to fix the game. I'm not doing that.
You don't have the right.
So back to what I was saying. I thought I was going to turn this game on. The shit was going to crash as soon as I loaded the matchup. I've played 5 matches so far. The only glitch I've seen was Bobby Roode had a little bit of a glitch with his robe, and that was
don't say that again, okay?
Well, look, I mean,
we're good,
look, man.
Carry on. Just watch what you say, man.
What do you mean? What should I say? What was I supposed to say?
DJ,
how was I supposed to voice it?
You ever had a glitch with your rope?
I said robe.
Well, you do have glitch chasers, so
exactly. And I'm gonna get to them in a second. But I played the game. I was told create a wrestler,
but a glitch is standard.
Yeah, I mean, universe and all these modes are broken. Okay,
the
fine.
ball's still sitting there.
So when you're told that all these modes are broken, I say, okay, fine, all the modes are broken. But all I've ever said was, where's the positive information about the game? I just asked about where the positive information was. That's all. I'm not the one that chases down more negative information after negative information is all over my timeline. So it's just funny how these people come out of the woodworks and they bash me because I'm the one that says, oh, a patch is coming. You think that this whole cycle is going to go by and no patch is going to be released? Yeah, I mean, seriously, y'all got to be realistic.
No, I mean, I get it. I know it is, but I'm just saying, just be surprised.
Like, I don't. It's like I come on and literally say, "Hey, I saw something positive."
NA is like glitch chasers. One.
Hey. Now, I'm keeping my word regardless. So it is what it is. Now they did post positive information. They'll be real. Okay, so my thing is, I had to search for positive information from the YouTubers who were flown out there. Because basically their entire video was bash videos. So what would you do if you're trying to decide whether to play a game day one? Would you A, listen to all the negative information and say, fuck, I'm doomed? Or B, see all the negative information, duly note it, and then say, okay, let me find the positive information so I know what I'm getting into. I chose the latter. I was bashed for that. So I don't get it. I'm damned if I do, I'm damned if I don't. If I bash the game and say it's a complete shit show, then I just fit into the crowd. If I don't bash the game and I do what I did, then I'm a stan. I'm somebody who's an apologist for these companies. I'm kissing ass. I'm this. I'm capping. That. I'm capping. I'm a coon. Meanwhile,
shirts are still on sale, by the way.
I see. Meanwhile, you got motherfuckers out here who didn't even pre-order the game, didn't even touch the game, have no plans on playing it, don't even know shit about wrestling, but they gonna
get 2K19.
Didn't even get 2K19, so the same shit as last year. How the fuck would you know?
And
you ain't never had pussy. It's the same pussy I had last week. What are we talking about right now? Like it just kills me. It kills me how these people come on. Like, bro, if you type in fix WWE 2K20, it is a shitstorm of the most egregious glitches you will ever see in your life.
And made by Brazzers.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just waiting for when it's fixed. I'm not trying to bash you, but no, I feel you. But what I'm saying is, this isn't even really pinpointed towards you. I ended our conversation. We ended our conversation decent. We didn't unfollow each other, block you like that other clown did, and start talking shit about you. I had no reason to. This isn't even necessarily about you. I'm glad you're in here to hear me talk about it, but this isn't really about you. This is about the other people who would at me and say, well, why are you defending? How am I defending a game I haven't played? All I said was, I want more information. So for those of you who haven't played the game, I'll give you a synopsis. Play now is fine. Any play now game you play, any play now match, you'll be fine. You can edit anything really that you want to. As far as when you go into edit superstars, I wouldn't create anything. I wouldn't do anything that you would want to risk losing, because a lot of people's save datas are getting deleted. And if you want to jump into my career universe mode, you're just gonna have to wait for a patch. But all the people that are like, this is the worst WWE game ever, yeah, you might want to go back to some of those like SmackDown versus Raw games when they first like transitioned over there, because that was pretty bad. Or like WWE 13, that was pretty bad.
What else y'all got? We about at a 2-hour mark.
Oh, well, let me answer NA's question. So, and actually, I'm pretty sure DJ will have something to say about this. So for those of you who don't know, for those of you who don't watch wrestling, basically, back in 1997, Bret Hart, who was at the time the WWF champion, went into a match with Shawn Michaels at a pay-per-view called Survivor Series. Now, Bret Hart was supposed to be leaving the company. He was supposed to be going to a rival company, WCW. And he had not reached an agreement of how they were going to get rid of... Well, I'm sorry. Let me go back. They had reached an agreement, at face value at least, of how they were going to get the belt off of him, how he was going to basically give the belt to the next person and so on. I'm trying to dumb this down as much as possible. And basically, what ended up happening was the Vince McMahon, the owner of the company, basically screwed him. He just screwed him, right? He had the ref ring the bell and he didn't tap out, so technically
you're talking about the Bret Hart Shawn Michaels match, right?
Yeah, the Montreal screw job.
Yeah, I remember that.
So a lot of people believe that there was some funny business going on with that.
Yeah, because Bret Hart was going to take the WWF title to WCW.
Yeah, he's going to take the WWF. Well, no. They didn't think he was going to, but they couldn't convince him to lose that night, and he was being so goddamn difficult that they say, you know what? Fuck you. We'll screw you. Right. Because what he was going to do the next night, basically what was supposed to happen was they were supposed to run down to the ring, his boys, and they were supposed to interfere in the match. Boom, there you go, DQ. Next night he comes out, and he either would drop the belt to somebody else or he just relinquish it. Because what a lot of people don't get, that wasn't his last night in WWF. A lot of people don't know that. He was still under contract for another 2 months.
All right.
So that's where things kind of get hazy. So Kevin Nash, otherwise known as Diesel, he thinks that there was some funny business going on regarding that. He thinks that it was all a work. In other words, he thinks that everybody got played, right? Everybody thinks this was a screw job, when in fact everybody got played. Vince and Bret were in on it, et cetera, et cetera. I don't know where I stand on this.
Honestly, if you look at the referee's account on it, Earl Hebner,
yeah,
he was trying to get the hell out of there.
He was.
And I think, what was it? Was it Jim Cornette? Was it somebody else that was also trying to get the hell out of there?
Jim Cornette beat Hebner out of the. He said he beat Hebner out of the building that night, and Jim Cornette has taken credit for it. And I have no reason not to believe him, but then again, I am a Jim Cornette fan. That he came up with this idea that they were going to screw Bret Hart.
Yeah. So to tell you the truth, it just seems like to me, like, to listen to Kevin Nash, it's just like whatever.
Who wasn't there?
Because he was. I'm like, even if he was there, he wasn't at the level of being a booker or anything of that to be involved in the creative process. He didn't get that until he got to WCW. So
right.
And also, okay, so Scott Hall, his boy, otherwise known as Razor Ramon, he says there's a couple things that sticks out to him, which isn't really factual information because he's kind of getting secondhand information and seeing things at a later date that really didn't happen the way they appear. So basically, he said that they filmed Bret Hart sort of cussing and spitting on Vince and blah, 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 blah. They didn't take the camera off of him. What he doesn't know is as soon as Shawn won initially and ran out, they ended the show.
Right. I remember watching that. Watching that. Yeah.
Those cameras that picked that stuff up were just cameras around, and the cameras that were filming Wrestling with Shadows, which was the Bret Hart DVD. Now, with a lot of people,
and you can kind of tell about it just the way it's captured.
The shots,
that the television show ended. Yeah. And then they were just carrying on. It was just like you see in these footage that you see post Raw, post SmackDown. This happened, and this is what we saw.
Right. So I get what he's saying, but he doesn't get that that's not how it was shot originally. It's not. That they didn't get that on camera. Nobody at home saw that. And then, you got the whole thing with Bret punching out Vince, and nobody really knows because only the people in the room know, and everybody's on Vince's side, so they're going to keep their mouth shut. I just don't see any reason for Jim Cornette to lie.
Right.
About him coming up with that idea. Now, Vince Russo's clown ass. Of course, he claims credit for it. I came up with it. Right?
Oh, yeah, that was the other one.
I came up with it. And I'm just like, who cares who came up with it? I don't think it was a work. It was too good to be true. It was too good for somebody to make up. I'm sorry, it was.
Right.
It was just too good for them to make up. So that's my answer. I don't think it was a work. Yeah, but here's the thing, NA. Earl Hebner on one hand is saying it was a work, and then on the another documentary he said it wasn't a work. He said he thought about retiring after he ref that match. He said that he thought Brett was gonna kill him. He said Brett asked him the day before, "Hey, will you please not screw me over? I know they're gonna try something." And all these things you got to pay attention to. Earl Hebner's trying to get a fucking interview with somebody so he can. They always do this. Wrestlers are famous for changing their story. And I don't remember, but no, I'm sorry. It wasn't a work. Earl Hebner's claiming it was. There's no reason for him to lie other than just wanting ears to listen to his bullshit, because he's been saying for years it wasn't. There was no reason for him to keep that hush-hush. Especially considering he said, "Oh, I would drive into certain places and think, oh shit, is somebody following me in here?" That's something that a work would do? No. So probably the biggest wrestling scandal ever.
Yeah, I mean, even when I don't watch wrestling anymore, but I remember that, and that was one of the big things one of the last things I remember when I was watching wrestling. I remember watching and hearing about the whole thing about Brett and Sean and how that happened when he was leaving for WCW. It was one of the things I do remember when I did watch.
I mean, Brett wore a fucking wire into negotiations with Vince.
No, that's crazy.
He wore a wire. Vince said, "I can't honor the contract." Now, anybody who believes it's a work, I can't tell you you're wrong. I'm just saying, I have a hard time believing it. I mean, God, you know how close-lipped you'd have to be to keep a secret like that for years? I mean,
that happened a while ago.
That was 1997.
Because I'm sure they've been asked about it
almost 20 years
again.
Where nobody slips and says, "Hey, I can confirm it was a work." Yeah. Now the good thing is, in this social media age where people can just release information and they don't really have much credibility because so much information's out there, sure, somebody could come out now and say it's a work and nobody will really believe that. If it happened back then.
All right.
Well, he said just Vince and Brett. No, because it couldn't just be them.
Yeah,
there's no way they could have.
There's
no way they could have pulled that off. No, there's
Jim
no
Cornette and Vince Russo.
There's no way they could have pulled.
There's all the people that were in on it. Of course, Vince McMahon, Shawn Michaels. I'm like, the people that had something creative, that were involved with it, with the creative side of things, and people who actually wrestled in it, and the referee that reffed over it. Those are the people that knew about it, because I'm like, everyone knows wrestling is scripted, but you can also, because at the end of the day, what was it? And I think Vince even admitted it. He was like, yes, I had to lie to him because how the perception of it wasn't going to look good. So it's just like, yeah, I let him out there believing he was going to win the championship.
I mean, NA, think about this. Just consider this for a second. Why would Vince agree to organize that work and let his biggest star go to his biggest competitor? Even if he knew they were going to fuck up the booking of Bret Hart, you still let your biggest star go to your biggest competitor. What do you win from that? You don't win anything.
All right.
You don't get anything from that. So, look, it's possible. Anything's possible. It's the wrestling business. But, yeah, but he was leaving.
What else we got before we go?
Yeah, that conversation go on forever, but that's all I got, really.
All right, I just remember that. And, I'm surprised that it's still a conversation after all this time. I honestly thought that Brett got screwed. There was just no doubt in my mind. But at the same time, I'm a little biased because Bret Hart is my favorite wrestler of all time. So
I know a lot of people with that opinion. I can't.
Yeah, I used to love watching that guy growing up. Him and Macho Man was like those like my idols as far as wrestling goes.
Speaking of Macho Man, that's the worst looking character in WWE.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, I've seen all those.
They did my dude wrong, man. I don't even want to
They
talk
did
about
everybody dirty in that
that. Yeah, they
game.
really did.
Better clean
They
up.
really did.
Those
This is
characters.
jacked up as shit. So,
There's one thing that I wanted to bring up. Me and Bills were talking about. God damn. Me and Bills were talking about earlier, and that's the fact that there's a ton of games that are sitting out here with issues with their settings that tend to reset, or when you enter a particular mode, they reset versus what you thought you saved. NBA 2K20 being the most egregious in my eyes, because every time I go in there, I have to constantly turn off the shot meter. I had to constantly, and I believe I save it because that icon pops up at the bottom right, but then all of a sudden, turn it off, come back to it. It's like I never changed the setting in the first place. So it's just
and FIFA's the same way. You could exit a game having turned off the FIFA trainer and putting all your passing on manual. You go pick two different teams, go back in, trainer's back on, all your shit's back to assisted, and it's ridiculous.
yeah,
Why should I have to do this every single time?
I said this on my Gears 5 live stream. I've pretty much given up on modern sports games. I'm like that serious about that. I have no desire to play them.
But the thing is, it's not even about the issue with modern sports games. It's just as simple as, hey, make sure that a person can set their settings.
Yeah,
that could have been any other type of game.
I mean, I get it, but it's just that when you have a majority of these games that aren't looking for what we want. They're not making what we want. And
but that's the thing. It's not even about what we want in the game. This is basic shit.
I know.
That is in every single game, no matter what genre. And when you can't put out a game that you can't even save the settings, it constantly resets on you. You have to constantly change it. That's a major inconvenience.
No, I'm with you. I'm with you out on that. I mean, that's just another thing added to my issues with the games.
I just look at I look at Madden, the fact that and I think this is only an issue when you go into play now, is that all your visual assist things will pop up. Coaching tests will, even if you turn them off and save them into your profile, you go to play now, they're like switched back on for some type of reason. So it's just like, well, you already have rosters forced upon you now, because unless you save it under a different file name, your roster that you thought you saved and you left it saved under the Madden's roster name will change almost every single day if you don't name it a different file, which is kind of crazy.
Well, I was gonna say, the one last thing I would say is they can eat a dick with that, because they deleted my fucking roster that I worked hours on.
Yeah,
to put the new roster that Shooter can't fucking get right with his sorry ass. And I'm slandering him. I don't give a fuck. You get paid a bunch of money to fuck up every year, and I'm tired of it. So
it's just ridiculous.
Deleting people's rosters and shit.
I mean, I'm with you on that. It's just not. To me, it's just not. It's not worth it anymore.
Yeah, bring on XFL 2K.
See their player models come up waiting for a patch afterwards.
Oh God. Yeah, I don't got nothing else. So
DJ, you got anything?
Nah, I'm sitting here seeing if Max can get out of this inning. He's in the bottom of the fourth with 2 men on and 2-2 on. Was it Altuve?
Okay.
MLB The Show has their cover athlete.
I bet the ball still goes to the bat. I give no.
I'm sure it does. I don't either because I don't have PS4, but I'll probably end up getting it when I get my PS5 though.
I mean, it's just like it's just so much bullshit with these games. Like, I have no words for it. I just whatever.
Yeah.
I'll just go back to playing No Man's Sky.
There you go.
In NHL.
Like literally, I've been playing like games that are outside the genre and just been enjoying myself. I play NBA Street Volume 2 today.
Call of Duty this Friday.
Killing it, Like NANA said, he's played more Space Mega Baseball than sports games.
Super Mega Baseball. You call that man super
Sports
Space
Mega.
Yeah,
Baseball.
same thing.
Like it was
Shit.
Baseball Simulator 1000.
Yo, that used to be the shit though.
On another thing, they need, this is real quick, obviously. They need to bring back Slugfest.
Yeah, one day.
The ball goes through the bat on there, it's arcade, so whatever.
Yeah, I mean, what you expect?
Come on,
All right,
this
good
many.
episode 93. Another good episode.
Thanks for the questions this time.
Yeah, we had some pretty good questions. 94, we're gonna.
Yeah, they just didn't want to get roasted. That's
94, we're gonna jump into some more stuff. Same old.
Yeah,
same
what we got?
old.
What we got for Thursday?
I don't know. We'll come up with something. We
Mhm.
usually do between now and Thursday. Something crazy may happen. You know how it always is.
maybe a crazy trade or two, possibly.
Yeah,
This is the final week of the. If this were ESPN 2K5.
Tom Brady traded for a 6th-round pick.
What you got? What you got, Bills? Before we go.
Thanks everybody for coming through. Viewership was really good for a Tuesday, even though we seem to be doing good on Tuesdays.
It's getting better. Yeah, it's really good.
Look out for my music in the near future. I know I keep saying this, but it's coming. That's all I can say. It's coming. I'm not just a sports gamer. I'm not just a podcaster. Y'all see soon enough. Rome peeped my IG. So, yeah, just stay tuned.
Okay, what you got, DJ?
Well, y'all can find me on Twitter, spewing whatever. Again, I had a video that was on my YouTube channel. It seemed like nobody paid attention when I was advertising before. I'm just going to advertise it again. So you can go check out that video. It was about, I don't even remember what it was on.
LeBron James in China.
Oh yeah, that's what it was. Yeah. Well, it's old news now because now he said some other crazy stuff that was funny.
I'm not.
No, we're not going into.
No, we're not going there.
No, we're not going there. I'm just saying. I just like I'm just disappointed in him. That's all I'll say.
Other than that, I'll see you guys on Thursday.
Yeah, sounds good. Thanks for the viewership, everybody. We're good. Another good episode. Good questions.
Your advertisement for your
that's coming up. Trying to think. I'm gonna do a little bit more live streaming. I actually enjoy it. A few people who do come by and watch me play. Like I like made a point. I didn't realize like the difficulty on NBA Street 2 is like really there.
Yeah, you was getting your ass whooped up.
Yeah, I was.
I can hold you.
Like
it's like ankles.
Yeah, like no joke. It's there. And then the thing about it is when you put it on easy, I like my last game, I beat them like 21-4. It's like there's no middle between. It's like they're gonna play you tough on medium, or they're gonna play like cupcakes on the easy level. It's like I don't want to blow everybody out, but the games were competitive for the most part. But those guys are playing tough, but I enjoyed it nonetheless.
And for anyone who doubts it, NBA Street Volume 2 is one of the greatest basketball games of any kind ever.
Yeah, it's a great
Stands
game.
the test of time. Amazing game.
Yeah, it's still a great game. I had a lot of fun with it. I'll be doing more live streams. I got everything hooked up to where I can actually live stream my older consoles and my newer ones now. Even I got some ways I could do it with my PC as well. So I've been working on that. So we're gonna see more of that. So outside of these other people that's in this community that claim they play games, hiding their achievements. You know what I'm saying?
Hiding their viewership in this fucking podcast.
Hiding their viewership, showing up on the podcast in certain modes so they can't.
Got minions coming to dislike the video and shit.
And selling blankets for $36.
Oh,
I mean, you got people around here don't want to show their achievements, don't want to show you what games they playing, and when you do see their icons or you see their gamer tags or their PSN name, they got like 2 games on it.
Fucking
we out here playing real games. That's all I'll let you know. We play games out here. All 3 of us play games.
Oh yeah.
It's bigger than just playing Madden sports all the time. They're cool, but we really about this game in life, just to let y'all know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna tell you something. There's one person in this community. They played the first part of the campaign of Call of Duty Ghosts, and that's the only game they played outside of the sports title this entire generation. We're not gonna name 21's name. All right, we're gonna peace.
Peace out.
Yo.